Welcome back to the Death Needs Dialogue Entertainment Network. This is the Legends Gauntlet, Episode 2. Lava is a solid. Two souls have again been chosen to defend their right to live.
Einheart Bryant.
Atlas Blackrose.
Both hunted in darkness.
As they storm in 40 feet, 30 feet, you can hear their paws pounding on the ground. As at that 15 feet they leap it, you disappear. You see a troll.
Well, then I am definitely going to move towards the door.
Where triumph is had and rewards are given.
Necklace fireball with 7 full rubies set inside it. And a second level spell scroll. Spell scrolls, you guys pick whatever you want.
Prepare yourself for the Legends Gauntlet.
So, Greg,
Yes.
do you have a name for your character?
I do not.
Okay.
That was the fun part for me. I looked around my dad's shed for about an hour, smoking with the woman, just looking around like, what the fuck do I call my fucking... So I'm looking around and I saw like an old globe in the back, and I was like, I'm like, Atlas held up the globe, first name, Atlas, there we go. Then I'm like, looking around, I saw Robin fly by, I'm like, black, and then I saw a sign on my dad's door that said Rose Blanche, my black roaster.
There you go.
Quick way to make a name. Just look around your room and be like, okay.
One of these books has a whole bunch of names in it.
I'm really need to invest in some books.
Books?
Yeah, I need to invest in some of the books because I don't think any of the books actually have what this Xanthar's Guide to Everything actually probably does. The shadow magic for sorcerers. I'm looking for some cheaper ones, but I can't seem to find any anywhere. So I'm just gonna have to suck it up and
I find the best way to get them is gifts.
just ask for them for Christmas.
That's
Yep.
right. That's what I did. That's true.
I know what I'm asking my mom for my birthday, for Christmas, and everything.
I asked my
Snack
mom
on.
and my sister to get me a joint gift, and it was a joint gift, and it was all 3 books: Player's Handbook, Dungeon Master's Guide, and Monster Manual. And it was beautiful. It was beautiful. And every gift I've asked for consecutively has been D&D related. Dice. I think that's the only other one I've asked for.
I bought all my dice. I saw a sale on Amazon for like $5 for basically all these different dice. And I was like, yep, give it to me. That's actually one thing I've been wanting to do, is learn how to forge. And then see if I can forge myself a metal dice that's actually balanced.
That's
Challenge.
That's a long path.
Oh yeah.
It's a long path.
Well,
George is kind of on that. He can make weapons.
that's what I'm starting at, and then I'll move to smaller things like rings and dice. That's what I want to do. Just because it's I've been watching it for years, and now that I'm moving to a space where I'll actually have the space to do it, it'll give me a chance to actually learn quite a bit of doing so.
Still amped up about it, or not amped up, still a lot of anxiety about moving into this new place. Still a lot. And it's gonna be really, it's gonna be a good thing. We got a place to fucking live, that's a good thing.
Yes.
To start.
You know?
It's better than nothing. Better
But,
than nothing.
yeah, so. Anyway, moving on. Yes.
Einheart Bryant.
Ironheart?
Einheart.
Einheart, okay.
EINEART. BRYANT.
Einheart, okay. Alright. And, what is Einheart?
Artificer Wizard.
Okay, and this is going to be interesting. Atlas, the days for you have grown short, even though your life has been long. The last bit has been filled with sickness and relaxation as you've grown aged and old. And one of your final memories is the fire at your feet, the sparks and hisses from the wood that's placed inside of it. The family that you have made over these past 762 years is spread out before you in your grand bedroom. Bedroom is filled with tapestries of red and gold, and there's artwork from many years past. And then you awake. Suddenly your eyes open. You feel cold slate ground beneath you.
Oh, what was that?
It's dark.
Where am I? What was that noise?
Your voice kind of echoes just slightly as you're not speaking very loud.
Hello?
Hello? Hello?
Is anyone there?
Your voice echoes again, and then the room begins to lighten. Only slightly, and then it begins to elevate more and more until it is bright light. You are prone on the ground right now.
Where in the hell am I?
Roll perception.
15. 15 plus nothing, because I don't have perception bonus. I don't know, where's my perception bonus?
That is fantastic to know. Yes! No, please continue. Sorry. Not to break your roleplay.
And we're screwed.
15.
15.
Yep.
You pick your head up off the ground. You push up slightly and you look around as far as you can behind you. You're in a cylindrical stone room. The stone seems to be solid to the ground, to where it's beneath you, and you kind of arch your neck and look up, and up there, it goes up about 40, 50 feet, and there seems to be a grate. And it's blackness behind the grate.
No, it's cobblestone walls, or is it?
Oh, stones. Like
Just
flat, well not
like
flat because
flat
it's
stone.
curved, but it's like formed stone.
But it's like smooth stone type.
Yep,
Okay.
smooth. Yeah. Maybe a little rough. Halfway between smooth and concrete.
Now, how far apart are the walls between the two?
You're in about a 10-foot cylinder.
Oh, that's a pretty wide cylinder. Well, compared to a human's length. Or width, I guess. So the only way is up.
That you can see.
That I can see. I'm just gonna start poking at walls.
You're still prone. Do you stand up? You haven't technically stood.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, I'm gonna stand.
Okay.
I'm gonna stand up first.
All right.
I kind of forgot I was.
You stand up. You get to your feet, and then as soon as you take a step towards the wall to begin your investigation, you hear a voice, a booming voice, and it says,
Atlas Blackrose, you are here to defend your right to live.
Am I not alive?
You live for now on borrowed time. Go forth and prove yourself worthy of life.
Go forth where? There's no.
as you speak, you can see a blue light about 12 feet in the air above you in the stone, and it begins to arc all the way down in two different beads, all the way down to the bottom. And then a door seems to sink in the stone and move off to the right-hand side silently. And it reveals... Roll percentage.
18.
18. Excellent. It reveals a corridor. You immediately feel this blast of heat hit you. It's not good. Not enough to hurt, but it is an incredible blast of heat. I'm glad you rolled this one. This is the one I wanted you to get. It's perfect. I love when it works out. What do? The stone continues.
I'm gonna guess that's the way. He voiced. Is that the way? Okay, I'm gonna go. I walk through the door.
You walk through the door.
Jesus,
The heat
hot.
stays the same. It's this very hot. It's not humid. It's this dry heat, and there's these thick odors and smells in the air. As you continually walk through, you can see this dull glow. There's this, I would say it's not bright light, but it's considered bright light for that. That just seems to emanate everywhere. You know, you are a sorcerer. You've seen some things. You've encountered some things, and you'd feel this is some sort of magical, airy light that just seems to be produced here. But the light above, in front of you, coming from the corridor ahead, is orange. And gives off a dull glow.
So it's just a straight corridor.
Yes, it is.
I guess I'll proceed down the corridor.
Okay. You proceed
Slowly
down the
though.
corridor.
I'm just gonna be very cautious and watch my step.
Okay. The stone is smooth. It does not have a line of break anywhere. As you kind of run your hand across it from time to time, feeling it, it doesn't change. But the stone begins to get warm.
Someone had way too much time on their hands here.
You come to what seems to be a precipice about 20 feet ahead, and you can feel the heat's intensifying here. If you roll perception.
Let's see. 5.
Okay, you are overwhelmed by the smell of odors and heavy scents that are in the air right now. You look, you can see these black scoring marks up the walls ahead of you about 20 feet. And this intense, dull, glowing orange.
What? Am I in hell?
You can hear it. Tss, pop, tss.
I think I'm in hell. I think I'm gonna turn around and go back before I make it to hell.
You turn around. It is darkness. 10 feet, and then it's darkness.
Good to know. Okay, guess we're going to hell. Or what? I guess hell, did hell freeze over already?
It's pretty
Must
warm.
Am I in a volcano? We'll find out soon enough. So I'll test my luck and walk into where the sizzling's coming from.
Okay, you approach the edge, the precipice, and you look down. The corridor itself is only 10 feet wide, but the corridor extends over this gap in the corridor, for about 40 feet. You can see the other edge of it. The lava is glowing up on the other side, revealing the stone and the other walkway along the other side. But you do look down and see lava. This hot, boiling lava. It seems to be bubbling and roiling in certain places. And is that something moving there? You're not quite sure.
Now, how big are these holes? Like these holes in these tunnels going through the ground? Like how tall would they be?
Oh, it's like a gap. The corridor ends.
Oh.
And it drops suddenly
Oh,
on a
it's
precipice.
like a
and
ravine type deal.
Yeah, and 40 feet.
Fun.
But I think you're just in a 10-foot corridor.
Yeah.
And it's straight. And then there's this 10-foot by 40-foot vat of lava in front of you.
I feel like the dwarves are behind this. I'm gonna keep going. I'll keep pushing on forward and,
You're-
and try not to look down because I don't like heights.
So please explain to me what you're about to do.
So you said there's a pathway that goes straight across, right?
No.
Oh, it's just the gap
It
and then
ends.
the doorway.
Then there's lava for 40 feet, and then there's another
Oh.
precipice.
Oh no. So I'm just okay. Let's see what I got for spells that'll help me here, and then I can actually.
So you're taking your time looking through ideas. Get your roll perception again now that you're here at the very precipice. Because before you did your perception, you were 20 feet in.
Yeah.
Your angle of looking wasn't as...
Now I'm actually in the.
Yeah. This will be your
That's a nat 20.
Okay, well there you go, perfect. Well, you're natural 20. You see all what I explained before. Also, on the far end of the precipice, 40 feet away, you can see glints of small, roundish holes that seem to go up. There seem to be every foot or so up along the precipice on the far side.
I gotta climb.
Also, above you, on the roof, the corridor begins to peak. It begins to move upwards, and it moves up about another 40 feet into the air where it peaks. And at the top, you can see block and tackle set up in the ceiling.
Block and tackle.
It's made for, it's in D&D, it's Medina. Are you familiar with the equipment?
I don't believe so.
It's it helps move things with ease if you're a small person, or if you don't have a group. It's
kind of like a pulley system.
Pulley system,
Yeah, I
I
gotcha.
believe so. Yeah.
I gotcha. So is there it's holding something up there?
There's a hook up there.
Oh, just a hook, nothing holding it, nothing dangling from it. Just
a hook. Did you bring any rope?
I have a dungeoneering kit, so I
You
think
have
I
rope then. Okay.
Oh, how far does Mage Hand go? I gotta. How far does Mage Hand?
It'll go 30 feet.
30 feet?
Yep.
And how,
You can make it. It's 20 feet
20
up. Oh, I said 40 feet up? From where you are? Shit. I guess
Probably
not.
Guess not.
I guess not. I kind of made up the number though,
Yeah.
the height of it. So I was gonna say 30 to begin with, but I wanted to make sure I was clear on the math. So I'll make it 30 anyway, because that
Okay.
was my initial plan to go with. At 40, just kind of.
Okay.
I want you to be able to use your magic to get it out of it. Instead of having to
So-
try and throw a rope there 3 dozen times as a sorcerer.
Just
Use that magic that you know how to use.
Throw the rope.
the lava.
First time doesn't quite make it. Lays in the lava. Well, so much for that.
You lose like 2 feet of rope every time you fail.
Yeah. I'm just gonna Mage Hand up and grab and pull it down.
Yep, you mage hand it up. You can. So it's up there. You kind of got 2 ends of it.
Alright, so. Wait, so is there one end by me and one end over there?
Well, yeah, the mage hand took it up and looped it. Unless you want to tie like a loop, kind of tie a knot or something, and do it up there. If you want the mage hand just to kind of loop it around.
Yeah, I'm gonna get the Mage Hand to tie a.
30 feet. It's not gonna work. It's
No.
only 25. No, yours like 6 feet tall.
Yeah.
It's gonna work.
Oh, yeah.
It's gonna work.
Oh, this jumped real far.
But that's just how you explain it. If you want to like tie like a loop and a knot,
Yep.
it's completely up to you.
I'm just gonna get to loop it around once and then hook it onto the actual pull, like the hook up there,
Okay.
and then I'm just gonna try and get it running and see if I can hold it onto it and get a running start to swing across.
Yeah. So if you make a loop, you'll be able to get
Yep.
get a running start up there. So I'll get you to roll sleight of hand for the knot.
All right. See how this goes, because I do
Maybe go ahead.
that was very poor. 7.
Okay, just remember that number.
Yep, 7.
Okay.
That may come out.
Oh god.
So, okay, you got the rope.
Oh, I think
You
it's
can,
30.
there's enough slack where you can run back. You have about 15 feet of running space until it's into blackness. It just the corridors seem to disappear.
I'm gonna just run, and I'm just gonna try and get a running start and just go for it.
Okay, I'll get you to roll athletics.
Oh Jesus, I don't even have that. And my strength is 10.
Oh, this
9.
Woo! Okay.
I think you dodged the least of your problems.
So what happened was, you stood there. You're looking at this, getting your gull up, and you're holding. You're like, all right, I need a good running start. You walk back 15 feet. You get a good grip on the rope, and then you run. Unfortunately, you got 15 feet of slack before you jumped off that. And you come down hard on that slack, and as soon as the slack lets go and it tightens up, your hands release and you hit the lava. I made this mistake last time.
I should have cast Featherfall first.
Oh,
That would have been smart.
that's a reaction? Bonus action? I'll give you
It's a reaction for whenever you fall.
Yeah,
So,
it's,
yeah,
yeah, so
then
you
I'll- then
can
I'll-
do it, absolutely.
Then I'll feather fall. Okay.
My question is, how far down was it to the lava from
The rope.
his ledge?
Oh yeah, that was a good question.
Good point. It would have been only like 20 feet.
Oh
Or
Jesus.
something like that, yeah.
So if I felt, yeah, that would have been.
It would be enough for that rope. The trap was designed to make sure the rope was enough to...
I didn't even make it to the other side.
Oh, you had the only 15 feet, you're right though. So 30,
Yeah.
45... You would have feather fell like 10 feet.
No.
I was gonna say, if we got at the math, his 15 feet back up might have basically swung him right down into the lava anyway.
I was just doing that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So don't worry about wasting the spell.
Yeah.
You realize you're too close to the lava
Yeah.
for featherfall to do any
It was
matter.
okay.
So it lets go and
This is
you
my life now.
fall
dead.
backwards like trying to snow angel the lava.
Yeah.
Just splash.
I'm dead. It's like, is that warmth? Heartbeat. Oh god, what was that?
So here's one of the fun things. Lava acts like a liquid, but it still has the density of rock.
So I just kind of smack it and then
Yeah.
sink slowly.
No, you don't sink slowly. You don't sink.
Oh right. That's
You
gonna
don't
melt.
sink. No, yeah, you just sit there and take a shit ton of fire damage.
Yep.
You can walk across it.
Hold on, this is hard counting up all the dice I need.
Yeah. I think it's 15d6.
This is an older style book I'm getting this stuff from. It labels it as 20.
Yeah.
Well,
But I made you guys level 15s just to buffer and have the fun. So, here we go. 15d6, ladies and... Sorry. I need 5 more.
well, it's gonna hurt for a second.
No, I really need 5. I need 4 more. Thank you, sir. Okay, there they go. Stand up for sure. Oh, God, yeah. Okay, let's do this. Got 10, 20. No, that was a 2. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60.
Where did they all come from?
70, 81 points of fire damage as you fall, thank you very much, sir, on your back in the lava and hit hard. Alright, I'm going to say the trap doesn't say falling damage when you hit the lava, so I'm just going to let that slide.
To be fair, the fall damage is 1d6.
You're absolutely correct.
Did you say 81? Did you say 81?
I'm such a saint.
Did you say 81?
I said 81, yeah, I said 81.
Jesus. Okay, here's the math real quick.
So, that hits. You hit the ground. You have... What do you do?
Well, after coming to the realization that lava is solid, I try and slowly, while burning,
After
And
all
it's
the
probably
years of
melting.
sorcery. Lava's a
Everything I
solid-
knew was a lie.
I'm gonna walk to the wall and just try and climb up. Ow, ow.
I don't know about walking, but
Yep, did.
moving towards.
You speedily move across the lava as you leap up. Your clothes fall off the front of you as they've all burned off the back of you. You are naked.
How I like to be.
You have, and you run across to the
No
to
weapons,
the edge.
no
And you
gear.
can see these. You can see these circular holes.
I'm just gonna start trying to climb.
Okay, you start trying to climb. Dexterity saving throw.
Oh, Jesus. I'm glad that's something that I actually put points towards. That would be an 18.
18 is a fail. Okay, as you start climbing up speedily, immediately in your chest you feel as crossbow bolts shoot out of these little holes into your chest and abdomen.
This thing is trapped.
take 16 points of piercing damage. And if you're still alive, you make it to the top.
I just gotta do the math real quick. So 81 plus 16.
97.
97. Oh god.
Oh god.
That's a lot of damage.
You have 18 hit points left.
Yes, I do.
Oh.
I'm gonna just sit there and look down at the crossbow bolts in my chest and just. Why did I not learn to heal myself ever? No, you don't pull them out. You definitely don't pull them out. You kill yourself pulling them out.
Sorry, I made a mistake.
Oh.
It's. I think it's another.
Okay, not taking any healing.
We'll,
Yeah, no,
we'll
that's
say
right,
Kale
sorry.
roll low.
No, it's a strength check to climb up that thing. If it's a fail, they hit you twice for the first half, and the second half it's a succeed. It's only the one. You gotta roll strength, athletics.
God, fuck.
It's not considerable though. It's not like the trap, the thing.
Not 20.
Okay, there you go. You made it. Even 6 arrows get in your chest, or bolts you get in your chest, you get up the top, heaving. Your sorcerer body's just.
Did I take a single? No, I did not.
Oh my god, that was
I didn't
awesome.
take any heals.
Okay, you better.
I didn't take any heals. I'm crazy.
Oh, that's unfortunate for you.
Oh yeah, I messed up bad.
Yeah, no, that's cool. You better taking some good offense though.
Oh yeah.
That was riveting.
Oh,
I thought it was gonna kill you the first time.
Yeah, I thought I almost died. When you said 20d6, I was like, okay, here we go, death.
You know what? I think I did also forget something else. There's a multifaceted trap. But you're right, it was only the 1d6 damage. So it's not going to come into play. So that's right. Because if you do the whole... Since you've successfully completed the trap, you're at the other side.
Successfully survived
Yes.
the trap.
You successfully failed the task. I failed the task successfully.
What happens is you throw the rope up on the hook. You get on it, you swing across. The hook is not actually connected to the block and tackle. It's connected to another pulley that just pulls. And it pulls you right down into the lava. Except it pulls you right down to the other wall, where you smash into the wall, take 5d6 damage. Dex save for the arrows, take 6d6 damage. Fall in the lava, take 20d6 damage. So, because you fell off by your own means, you saved your own goddamn life. Beautiful. So,
Task failed successfully.
that was amazing. So, you get up there and you're breathing, you're looking at, you got 6...
I'm not even going to bother taking him out, because that probably just means death. Because I'll bleed out slowly. I'm just going to look at him and be like, yep.
Medicine check?
Actually, I'll give it to you. Pull them all out. You find it really difficult to move around. Roll a medicine check for each of them.
Oh,
yeah,
Jesus.
I'm gonna make this real.
That's a 12 at most. I think that's intelligence for medicine, right? Or the wisdom.
I'll give you 10 DC for all of them.
Okay.
I'll say
is wisdom.
let's say call it.
Is it wisdom? Then that would be 12 still.
Okay, call it the 12. Roll 5 more dice. See if you get any more lower than 12.
Yep. 10.
2 points.
There's a 19.
Okay.
That's 7. And that's 12.
Okay, so only
And one more?
one more. Yeah, I think one more.
That's another 19.
Okay, so 4 points.
Yes, I'm still alive.
You're at 12, but
No, I'm at 14.
That had a potential to do a lot more good than bad.
I'm at 14, boys. I'm not dead yet. I'm just gonna... Because I have no idea where I am. I'm just gonna try and slowly move along now. Because I'm...
So as you begin to shuffle away from the lava,
But I'm gonna be very
See-
cautious because I'm gonna pay attention to every step I take. I'm gonna look at every can I make a perception check just to?
yes, you can, of course.
I really don't want to take another step because there might be a floor plate or a rope or something that I'm not seeing.
springboard.
Last thing I need to get sent
Trip, fall, dead.
right back into the freaking lava. No, I don't see a thing. I got a 4.
Okay, it's what you see is
What?
before you. You begin to walk away from the lava. The corridor begins to take up again, and this darkness begins to light to gray, to white, to clear, and now it's this corridor again, the same corridor you're walking through before, except now at the end of it, there's another stone door that begins to light up.
Oh,
the blue lights
fantastic.
around, and it begins to impress, and it just impresses this time.
No good choice at this point. Alright, we're pressing on. Let's go.
Okay, as you begin to move through the corridor, Einheart, I'll get you to roll perception. Oh, beautiful dice, I love that.
That's a very nice dice set.
Yeah, the result is not very.
Okay.
8.
8? Okay,
Yeah.
Also roll percentile to see where you're landing on which, and okay, I'll get some messy around.
29.
Beautiful. Einheart, you're walking through a corridor. It's stone. It's yellowish. It's blocked. You can see the seams. It's very intricate work for this place that you're in, this grand sunken pyramid, as it's been called over time. You finally found it, and you're here, breaking down its secrets. You've been through the desert, you've been through the forest, and now you've been through the ocean, and you're here. As you're walking through this grand hallway, now it begins to open up, and there's hieroglyphics that cover the walls everywhere, and they go from a blue shade to an orange shade into a golden shade to this great large door. It's about 40 feet tall, about 60 feet wide. It's broken in the middle, or parted in the middle, sorry, with two great big pictures, one of a dragon and one of a humanoid on the other side. And just as you're walking, you begin to take a breath in at the amazement. You're finally here, the door's there. Darkness. You take a breath, you open your eyes, you're staring at cold, gray slate. You can just see in the, it's darkness, sorry, you can't see. It's right in the cylinder, it's dark. It's cold. It's not
Make sure everything's relatively intact. Hey, look around it.
So you stand up?
Yeah.
Okay, so you're trying to check everything. You stand up, and as soon as you begin to stand up, and check you slow as it begins to lighten up, and it goes from gray to bright to light, and you look around, and you're in a cylinder, a stone cylinder, and you look up, and it goes about 40, 50 feet up, where there's a grate.
Do I have my equipment?
Everything seems to be intact, yeah.
Okay. I generally would have been traveling with a steel defender. Basically, it's a companion.
Okay, yep.
Is he there?
Oof. I would say he wouldn't make the transfer over to this particular place.
But I get everything. Everything else.
Yeah, everything else. Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry about that. He wouldn't really.
He wasn't important to the build. It was just
Okay, good.
whether or not I need to calculate him into my plans or not.
Okay, all right.
Okay. So this is a new place. Try inspecting the walls, see if there's any passageway or.
You take a step in any direction and you hear this booming voice, and it says,
Einheart Bryant. You have been brought here to defend your right to live.
Against what odds?
yeah, I might stump the great voice on our response. That's all you hear. A deep, hollow, laughing chant. And it echoes off very quietly. And then you see the blue at the top, and the blue bead, and you can hear it hum a bit. It goes, and goes down to the bottom, and the door of stone depresses and moves to the side. And the echo seems to echo down the hallway as the door opens.
Hallway continues straight, or does it go left or right, or?
Straight. It goes straight.
Good.
And it's the same gray stone that seems to be made of this.
Alright, well, I guess I'll humor you.
As you begin to walk down the hallway, It goes on for about 40 or 50 feet, and it begins to depress slightly, and you start walking in water, and then you begin to walk. You're about a foot deep in water before you realize you're in water. You're just kind of looking around. Perception wasn't overly great, but that's where you're ending. That's what you currently stand. Water up to about up to your ankles.
Does it appear like the ceiling of the cavern dips down? Or?
Now that you're here, I'll get you roll another perception.
13? 16, sorry.
16, alright. No, the ceiling seems to continue straight. It's just the bottom, it seems to decline downwards. And you're still on that downward incline.
I'll keep walking, checking to see what's in front of me. I'll use my quarterstaff to make sure there's no immediate drop-offs.
Of course, you go. It begins to flatten out after about a foot of water. You seem to stay that way for about 5 feet. And then with your perception going by, you're picking around, you're looking around also, and you see on the walls about just about 5 feet ahead of you, there's these little holes, about maybe the size of a pencil, like that, and they're just everywhere. They just keep going and going.
And how deep is the water? About a foot?
About a foot.
How high up does the bottom of the holes go? Like
from what you can tell, just about the top of the water.
Okay.
Excellent performance, by the way. I love the fall in the lava. That was my favorite part.
Oh shit. Oh. Hi. Why are we... So, this is a solid?
That's good.
Can I tell how far the holes go along the path? Like,
10 feet. It's still the same kind of light in this slightly dimmer, but not affecting any sort of roll or anything like that. They seem to go on for a fair distance, as much as you can tell, but by the time they get up a bit far, the walls are kind of straightened out. It's kind of hard to get that kind of look at them, but it seems to go, at least from what you see, 40 to 50 feet ahead of you.
okay.
The water does seem to stop about 60 or 70 feet ahead of you.
Okay.
As well. Yeah.
I'll use polymorph, turn myself into a snake,
Oh, nice. There
and
you go.
basically swim across the top of the water.
Okay, excellent. You swim across the top of the water as you turn into the snake. You form, your body kind of mutates and shrinks down into this long form, and you hit the water, it's this little sploosh, and you skirt across the water. Okay. Okay. So, as you're going by in your snake form, you get about 10 feet, 15 feet, and about the 20-foot mark, you notice that the water begins to drop off suddenly. and it goes down about 10 feet. And underground, under there, you can see polymorphed into a snake. You keep all your mental stats, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I believe so. For the most part, I would imagine so. Games statistics, including mental ability scores, are replaced by the chosen beasts.
So just for the description of it, then, the stone corridor drops off about 10 feet, and in your form of...
I'm going to change my plan then.
Okay, sure.
Because from this, I would imagine that I can't continue focusing on it, so...
how do you mean, as a snake, or...?
Yeah, the creature is limited in actions informed by the nature of its new form. So if the snake can't cast spells and concentrate on it, if it goes to an intelligence 1 snake, it wouldn't be able to...
Does that have a time? Polymorph, does that have how long it lasts?
Concentration up to an hour.
Concentration up to an hour. Okay, so I'm gonna
basically say I use the spell and turn there, and then next round turn back.
No, okay. See, it would not going to be matter anything if nothing happened, because you're a small creature now, and the attacks get disadvantage. I'm saying, but 2 of them roll a natural 16 and a natural 18 on the disadvantage. So you will break your concentration because you're going to take some damage. But yeah,
potentially.
Yeah, potentially. Yeah, that's interesting. That's something we got to look into.
Yeah, because I was thinking it was sort of like the...
Can you polymorph yourself with polymorph?
Spell transforms the creature you can see within range into a new form.
Or is there a spell called polymorph self?
There's no polymorph self, but I figured polymorph, if cast on yourself, sort of acted like the wild shape.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I've heard it. Yeah, so,
and that's sort of what I was going for, but...
And you do have the mental ability of that, but I still think you can stop the spell. I still think you have the ability to do that. The control of the spell itself. Granted that you did turn into a snake, of course. But I think I've seen things where they've turned into insects, and they have the skills of an insect. But if you want to stop it, you stop it, you're done. You come back wherever you are, kind of deal. So we'll go with that. You have control over stopping the spell, but you kind of react like a snake. So
yeah, because it says the creature is limited in actions and informed by nature of the new form. It can't speak, cast spells, or take any other action that requires hands or speech.
But it can either...
The creature can't activate, use, wield, or otherwise benefit from any of its equipment. So
yeah, I'm going to say you can shut the spell off though, because I think pretty sure I've heard, seen it done. I've watched a lot of podcasts. We're all making the same mistake. Anywho, doesn't matter. Moving on. We're going with that. As you go over this embankment, you kind of peer down and get your roll perception for your sync.
Well, that's a nat 4. I don't know. I don't have the...
You don't see much. It seems just to be these, what a snake would look like. These large places he could curl around and hide from. Easy places to hide underneath, down and below, but continue forward. And as you continue forward, first this, one of these large angular pieces shoots up beside you and misses you. Shoots straight up, and as it shoots straight up, you can hear also this sound of, and all these little things hit the top of the water, and they come down and hit the top of the water. And there's thousands of these little tiny triangular, exactly. And then 2 more come up through. That's the natural 16 and the natural 18, and hit you both. Even though you're a snake, it's just the barbs on these kind of catch you on the barbs, and they rip right up through in the middle of you, and I get some damage on the go here.
Strong snake though.
And only 2 of them hit. So that's going to be 17 points of piercing.
Can I see the DMG?
Yes.
Or
absolutely.
not, Monster Manual, sorry.
Okay. Yep. Just yeah. Okay.
I wish I would have took polymorph now. I could have just flown across that. That's real.
See, this is the wizards got a good thing, and artificers and sorcerers got a thing. Magic has got a higher end on some traps, because the traps I'm taking from are mostly at random. I roll them, and if some of them just aren't, it's like, that's not very fun. Or sometimes this trap just looks like it's just made to kill somebody, like on purpose. Yeah. Granted, that's probably what the traps was made for, but
that is the general purpose of any trap.
But then, we're looking for a little bit of progression, right? There's some of them they're not even made. They're not even don't even have exit doors.
Are we looking at our 10-foot pit trap? Or are we looking for Tomb of Annihilation?
Well, see now I regret taking shadow magic. I should have taken draconic ancestry, though I could at least fly across with like wings. See it.
You know, and this is the whole part of this particular thing. We're doing the Legends Gauntlet. We're taking all the guys, every character who's ever played, and they're going in a pool. And you can choose from that pool or bring someone else new. And you go through this, you go through currently a trap, you do something else, and then something else happens. But this is the trap part. And, yeah, you had this is the first one that popped up, and I was like, yes, I hope some magic user gets this. And then I'm like thinking, shit, he's just gonna foil me by casting fly or something and fly over the goddamn lava.
And that's what I was thinking for him. It was like, okay, I have polymorph, which will let me fly, or I have fly. Both of which basically says, yeah, screw this.
But I wasn't expecting traps. I was expecting a combat base for some reason. So I'm just like, oh yeah, it's fantastic. Oh, I'm falling. It is.
Lava's is solid.
It's an ow.
This trumps.
Why was that hard and hot?
This trumps all other arguments right now. Lava's a solid. I'm burning to death, but lava is a solid.
Just gets up really mad. Why is lava solid?
That's why he was walking off. He was stalking off.
He's like,
stupid lava.
Kicking someone up.
Yeah, it's not like it's not hard. So it's one of those sort of like a waterbed. You sort of push your hand down and it pushes back.
Well, the first time.
Yeah, but it's more the fire damage that does a lot.
Yeah.
Oh man.
But yeah, a lot of people are like, yeah, you sink in the lava and then you start worrying about drowning. It's like, no.
You just lay there burning for a second.
First, they're not going to worry about drowning.
Yeah.
No,
but even if you're immune to fire damage, and it's like, yeah, unless you're basically
like
a stone giant in human form, where you are more dense than the lava, than stone.
That's true.
You
would
just
make it splash, but yeah.
But after
awesome.
all the stuff that I made, after all the spells I decided I was going to go through to try and pick, I was like, oh no, I don't need to fly.
No, I don't need to fly.
I don't need
What's
to fly.
the first thing out? Damn, I should have picked fly. Oh yeah.
Oh. Well, that's going to be useful. That's the best way to roleplay, though. You play off your mistakes and just shit. Oh, birds.
Oh, good stuff. Good stuff.
I could have been hit by the bolt before I fell in the lava.
That's what's supposed to happen. You're supposed to swing in, and as you're in flight, or no, sorry, not in flight.
Mid-swing.
You come down and you hit the panels, and those things. As soon as you touch them, they activate. Dex save. You hit and you fall in the lava as you're falling down. You get arrows in your chest as you're falling in the goddamn lava.
But instead, I fell in the lava and went, okay, climb this.
This was supposed to get you twice, right? You're like, how am I supposed? I can't climb up that door. The ones that hit you would deactivate, of course, but.
So it was 16 for the first one, or
total. 16 total altogether.
Okay.
Yeah, it was like 6, and it was a higher roll, like 14, but still really lows on a concentration check for sure.
Right. So concentration would have been 18 for the first
Good.
one.
Yeah, they're all DC 10.
Yeah, and that's an F14. So.
Yeah, perfect. Okay, yeah. So yeah, it slashes at you. Take a big gash for a little snake, but and I think how many the snake should come out of the two? They only how many hit points does the snake have?
The one I found was 60.
60? 60.
Big snake.
So it's like a big snake then. Okay. So yeah, then you definitely would have set off those.
Oh, yeah, you definitely would hit the traps.
So. Yeah, the other roll I rolled 2 really bad numbers on the disadvantage anyway, so...
Yeah.
But I did roll a critical on the disadvantage. So I'm going to roll another d12. It's only a 3, so take 6 more points. Don't worry about the concentration check, it still would be 10. Okay. And you swim across the gap in the ground dissipates, becomes the 1 foot again, and as you continue on, you slither up to where it begins to get stone ground again. And you can see that the pinholes in the sides have stopped as the water had stopped too.
I'll keep going in snake form.
Go in snake form, okay. As you keep heading down the hallway, about 20 feet goes by, and then you can see this blue piercing light at the top of the end of the hallway, and it glows down again on each side into an arc, and it impresses but does not move.
I'll go up and touch the blue light.
Okay, you go. You nudge it with the nose of your snake, and it begins to move off to the side. As it moves off, it reveals a room brightly lit, brighter than any room you've been in so far. Almost difficult to kind of squint, but it's the light seems to be coming down from above and reflecting off this white sand. In the middle of this sand, there's this seems to be a cauldron, and across the cauldron on the other side, you see a door.
Can I see what's inside the cauldron?
Yep, roll perception.
Need to know what my new perception is.
This is fun. It's been so long.
Oh, yeah.
Fucking hate COVID.
10.
10? Okay. No, you see, yeah, it's seems like there is a key in the bottom. A golden key. It's like the old skeleton-looking key with the tooth hook on the other side, on the one side.
So it's an empty cauldron other than the key, or?
That's what it looks like, yeah.
I guess we'll turn back and try and pick up the key.
Okay. I'll get you to... No, see, the perception was the check, sorry. Yeah, you go in, you reach in, you grab the key, but as soon as you hit the key, you can... Ooh. No, you were a snake then. In this case, roll a dexterity saving throw.
Okay. 13.
Okay, so you reach your hand in and you're reaching down to the bottom, almost fully reached in. The cauldron goes underneath the sand as well, so you kind of lean in over it like that, and you kind of reach in, and You get it, and you it's kind of reach next to it. You just give it a nudge, and you go sploosh. Got the key though. Uh-oh is right. What do you do?
So what was this? Like what? When I reached in, it was the sploosh.
Yeah, when you kind of just you got the key, and like you just kind of like right here, your fingertips kind of got the key a little bit on your palm. That's as far as you got, and you got the key, and it's like just right there. And you said the kind of as soon as you curled your fingers around to get it, it hit that 2 inches of liquid. But you got the key.
Try and pull the key out.
Your hand doesn't budge.
Oh, it's one of those.
This is a dirty one.
It is.
Yeah. So, okay, while you're thinking about that, you reach your hand in, you try and pull it out, and it's just like, Atlas. You walk down the hallway towards the impression.
Yep.
It moves as you touch it.
Yep, I'm just gonna poke right in the center.
Poke right in the center. As soon as you touch it, it begins to move off to the side silently.
That's very silent for stone.
Right? I need my monster manual, my friend. Thank you, sir. You got one. Oh, nice. Okay, so what you see is it opens up. An immediate cold, brisk wind rushes in. Compared to the hot heat behind you, it's immediately cold.
We're gonna make a tornado in here.
A fog, yeah. Seems to roll in and whirl up around you, throw you into the air. Take 3d6 bludgeoning damage.
Oh,
No, it's but it is immediately cold and damp, crisp. You can feel the frost.
Oh, that's better. Oh, I like that so much better.
It kind of hurts on your back. Even though you're also naked, you have no clothes on.
Oh, right.
This.
Is there any like tatters left on me, or am I just
No, you're completely naked.
So there's no mending it back to what it was.
No, the way you ran out of that lava, you weren't really caring about where your clothes were.
I was just like, no, whatever.
Okay, also, so don't worry about casting spells. You don't need components. You don't need anything to cast spells here. It just happens. You just do what you do.
All right. I guess I'm going to cast Detect Thought just to see if I can feel any kind of anything.
How far did that go up? 60 feet or something?
I believe it's 60 feet.
Detect Thought.
Give me a second, I'm almost there.
Perfect. Here we go.
I think it's 60.
Okay, you're looking at. I'll get you roll perception too while you're at it. Unless I already did. Six. Right, you see trees.
True.
That sends you for a loop. For sure. It seems you're looking at a forest. A dark forest.
I'm very confused now. That's rock. That's a tree. I feel some sketchy vibes, but I'm gonna go towards it.
When you cast the spell and as your action on each turn during the spell ends, you can focus your mind on any one creature that you can see within 30 feet of you.
Okay. Alright. Sounds good. Keep that in mind.
If the creature you choose has an intelligence of 3 or lower, or doesn't speak any language, the creature is unaffected.
Okay. So
Just in case that comes up.
Yeah, no, I have to check that now. So you begin
But
to walk forward.
seeing the forest, I'm gonna summon my Hound of Omen to my side if I can.
Yes. your hound appears. To describe your hound, what does it look like?
Very much like a dire wolf, but it's basically made entirely of shadow, and the only way to really see it when there's utter darkness around it is by it just purple floating around, just a set of purple eyes floating around.
Sounds good. Then I will get you and your beast to roll perception.
Okay, let's see. Well, I got a perception and intelligence.
Wisdom.
Wisdom. No, it doesn't matter anyway. It's both 2. So 19 and a 10. So I got 19. He got 10.
Okay, 19. Your wolf, your dire wolf kind of holds beside your side as you guys kind of walk into the woods, and you can see ever so slightly off in the distance this little blue light. It's there, then it's not, then it's there, then it's not. The wind's blowing the trees back and forth, covering it up here and there. But the general direction of a blue light, and then forest black around you. You can hear the wind blow the wind blowing through the bushes. You can hear the wind blowing through the bushes, the trees, the leaves, and then you hear off in the distance, and then 2 or 3 more returning from the other side of you.
So we got a bunch of with some dogs here. It's gonna be
And that
interesting.
your shadow beast kind of noses up at that immediately as soon as they call out.
Let's see what I got here. Is it dark or is it like very well lit?
Oh, it's dark here. Oh,
Well,
yeah,
I got superior dark vision, so
okay,
that's
so
nice.
that's not a problem then.
Yeah,
Okay.
I got superior dark vision, so that's nice. And I also have shadow walk, so if it's dark, if it's like pitch black, nothing can see me. What? No, is that no? Shadow walk is a teleportation of up
Yeah.
to 120 feet.
Yeah, that's good
Yes.
though.
Yes.
How many times can you do that?
I believe it cost me 6 sorcery points.
Holy shit.
Yep.
Okay. Alright. Well, hey.
And the monks are just like, yeah, 1 key point.
There you go.
I'd look it up if I could. It might be in the Xanthar's Guide to Everything, but I am not entirely sure.
I didn't see it.
So, the blue light is off in the distance. You hear howling from the left and to the right. What do you do?
But that's not going to be very useful at the moment, so I guess I will... So you said there was a blue light floating around.
No, not floating. It seems to be steady.
Oh, it's very steady, okay.
Yeah.
So I'm going to head towards it, I guess.
Okay, sounds good. You begin to walk through the forest. The brush isn't so thick here. It seems to be fairly low. It's not difficult to walk through. You walk by trees, bushes. Your shadow beast is there beside you.
Mm-hmm. Oh crap. It is in Xanthar's.
Yep.
Beautiful. So that would be...
And it does not cost you 6 sorcery points.
No, it doesn't cost me any sorcery points.
Good.
No.
That's
No,
good.
that's
It
really
costs them a
better.
bonus action.
It's
Okay.
a bonus action.
How many times can you do it? Every time, or?
Let me see.
Is that-
Dim light, darkness, and the bonus action.
Yeah. When he's in low light,
Yeah, lower dim light.
bonus action
Yeah,
is to teleport.
120 feet into
Okay.
another dim light that's unoccupied.
Okay, sounds good. Good thing this forest is filled with what I have in it. So,
And apparently I have Eyes of Dark, which I guess is superior dark vision at the same time. It's just the same thing. Yeah, they're the same thing.
alright, so then you are making your way through. So you're walking for about 10 minutes when your shadow friend, your shadow
Shadowhound.
Shadowhound, there you go. Your
Hound of
Shadowhound
Third Omen, apparently, is what it's called, but...
kind of picks up its shadow nose and kind of looks around, and you can see its ears kind of dwindle back and kind of even fade out from existence as you can begin to hear it in the distance. And then you can see it, these golden yellow eyes coming off from the right hand side. You look to your left hand side, you can see more.
Oh, please tell me I grabbed it. Oh, I'm so stupid. I grabbed darkness, but I didn't grab light.
It's okay. Do you know what? That is. I need you to roll for initiative.
Oh, fantastic.
Do you know what's so cool about that bonus action in the dark thing that it really worked out? It's the only fucking thing that's going to save him and get him to the next step. The only thing.
I'm just going to keep teleporting past them.
No, swear to God. Because you're like, 12 hit points?
Yeah, I have 14. That's my 13 plus what's my initiative bonus? I forget. Dex plus 4, so that'd be 17.
Okay, good. You are going first. Everybody. 1, 7, 11. 2 more ones. Okay, you are going first.
Okay. So
They are 40 feet off, and they are running in.
oh, they're running in fast.
Yeah. But, your turn.
I'm gonna hold action, shadow walk, and wait until they're about, I'd say, a good 15 feet from me, and then go 120 feet opposite direction of them towards the blue light.
Gotcha. Okay, as they're storming in, you can see them. There's 2 on this side. No, sorry, 1 on this side was coming from that way. 3 on the left-hand side. As they storm in 40 feet, 30 feet, you can hear their paws pounding on the ground. As at that 15 feet they begin to leap in, you disappear. Boom. And as they leap in, 2 of them hit the Shadow Beast, the Shadow Hound, and
He can come back. I guess it's resummon him again for nothing.
He's technically serving his purpose as bait.
Yep.
Exactly.
He's like,
Exactly.
watch him, watch. Piece of bitch. Thanks, boy. It's a good thing I don't name him.
beautiful.
I feel really, really bad about
What's the AC of that there beast?
it. I believe it would be, I think it's just the same stats as the direwolf. Is
Okay,
what
so
it
we're
says.
looking at like 11 or 12 then for the AC.
Yeah.
Probably.
Okay, so that's 4 attacks.
Oh, Jesus.
As you blink out of the way with that 15 feet, the other 2 wolves change their trajectory to get this one, and then all 4 of them just smash, crush into this beast. They all kind of crush and mash into each other as bite and claws go everywhere. How many hit points does your beast have?
Once again, it's the
Yeah.
same as the direwolf.
The Hound uses direwolf statistics from the monster manual.
And when it dies,
Okay, so
it just dissipates.
it dissipates. It's going to take far more enough damage to take it out. As these 4 werewolves clash into each other, and you can hear them, this horrible whining and squealing as they're snapping and biting at each other as they're trying to get this shadowy smoke beast that dissipates around them. And you're 220 feet away. It's your turn.
So the Hound is medium, not large.
Yep.
But that's mostly irrelevant. It appears with a number of temporary hit points equal to half your sorcerer level. So
Also half my
me-
sorcerer level. So even
meager 7.
7
Yeah, so
still. Yeah,
7.5.
2.
It can move through other creatures and objects if they were difficult terrain. The Hound takes 5 force damage at the end if it ends its turn within an object.
Oh yeah, so it's
So
no longer there.
It just turns back into shadow.
Cool.
These dogs are left attacking each other because they don't know it's not there.
And
Unless they're
you
smart enough.
blink 120 feet towards the blue light.
Alright. How much closer is this blue light?
You're not quite sure. Roll perception. Roll perception. It's still kind of hidden within the trees
And
and
can
the
I
leaves.
still hear anything around? Well, that's perception too, I
Yep,
guess.
yep.
And I'll be.
One step at a time.
That's it. 14. Let's
14?
go!
You don't seem to make, you're not sure if you made a lot of headway on it. It just seems to be covered in the trees as they bend, the limbs as they bend through. You're not quite sure. But as you get to that point and you do and you move up there, you look around, you can hear the wolves behind you start howling again. And then you can hear more of them kind of echoing around. Kind of coming up and you can hear them kind of echoing around up towards the blue light towards you. You feel like you're surrounded.
So, I think I'm going to use my bonus action to shadow walk onto. How big are the trees in front of me?
Tall.
Like very tall, right?
Yeah.
I'm gonna
I'd say your lowest securing branch would be 12 feet high, but they go up probably about 30, 40 feet.
Alright, I'm gonna shadow walk onto a branch that's
Good.
That's in the woods. Just like look at one and just
Excellent.
right up off the ground because I'm like, okay, wolves can't climb trees.
Okay, DM, quickly find out a tree denizen that's were-like and kill you. Okay. Yeah, you teleport up into the tree. Absolutely.
It's called an ent, and it's when it really pisses one off.
That's right, the tree. He was there all along. You teleport up into the tree.
Wait a minute, there wasn't a forest here yesterday.
Yeah. And at that point, you kind of you're up there. Now you can kind of hear it. Your perception's really good. The more the foot pads again closing in, and you can see the bright golden eyes as they start to come towards your direction. They are looking around. At one point, they look disorganized, but then one of them looks up, and then all of them look up.
I know I smell like barbecue, but can you please leave me alone?
And then one jumps on the other, and they kind of form into one creature. And then, no, I'm joking. They seem to run around the tree trying to scratch at it. One jumps up to the branch, catches on, starts to climb up to the next one. Another one starts to climb on that branch. It's the closest branch down. He kind of grabs it on it. His claws slip off and he falls to the ground. But one's up there climbing up the tree. What's your 120 feet? So you could be up, say, 30 feet in the air safely and not be on the peak of the tree.
Yeah, I'm not trying to like dangle up like, oh god.
Okay.
Here we go.
That might actually be a good idea. Teleport to the top of the tree, wait for them to all get towards the top, and then just
right back down to the bottom.
So is that kind of your plan?
Well, I was gonna go up toward like the highest peak, like the highest point I could with
30.
that.
I'd say 30 feet off the ground. Yeah.
And then so they're trying to climb up, and so one made it up the tree.
Yeah, one's 20 feet up the tree right now.
And he's on a branch.
He's hanging on a branch.
All right.
One fell off.
All right. I'm gonna main action firebolt.
Okay.
The branch that he's on.
Okay. Shame you don't have fly.
I really wish I could have some kind of fly right now.
Roll the attack.
It's proficiency bonus plus charisma bonus. No. Yes. Well, that's 19 plus 4 plus 5, so that's
Gonna hit
a bit.
the limb. They're just gonna hit the tree limb. Yep.
Smash the tree. I'm not trying to hit him. I'm just trying to hit the tree limb, and that's firebolt. So that's only
D10.
D10.
Yep.
Beautiful.
This is a tree though.
Yep.
And this is one of the main bottom limbs on it. It's quite large. So as your firebolt
Actually, I'm gonna cast firebolt at level. Okay, I'm gonna say 5 because I got 3 of those. So just to make it a little bit bigger. Is that add a D10 for every level?
I don't think so, because Firebolt's a cantrip.
No. Yeah, it was.
It might be 2D. It might be 3D10
Doesn't it- I
because
think
you're
it's-
high level.
That's what. I think it's automatically that it levels up with your level.
Yeah.
Not okay. So roll your
Oh yeah, it does too. As far as I know. Wait for the man with the book.
No, I remember seeing that reading the cantrip, cantrip one time, and it did level up with your level.
Firebolt, make a ranged on a hit, D1d10. The spell's damage increases by 1d10 when you reach 5th, 11th, and 17th. Okay. So 3d10 because you are more than 11th, less than 17th.
Okay.
That might make a difference.
Yeah, okay, so there we go. Well, that's a 7, 7, and 10. Okay. One of those are
24.
Nice.
Okay, I was going to say 20. If you breach 20, yeah. You hit the base of the limb and it just explodes. This dried up old piece of tree explodes under the weight of this werewolf that's on it, and it just snaps and he falls right down on his back.
And with that distraction going off, I'm a bonus action next tree 120 feet away.
Boom.
You also set that tree on fire.
Yep, that's the point. Keep them distracted for a minute.
Okay, and you bolt across. Right.
That's a very useful skill to have. I like teleport. Yeah, you can fly. I can just. Why didn't I could have just gone from one dark corridor to another dark corridor.
But I don't think those corridors were dark.
Were they dark or were they dim? Because it's dim light.
The corridors? No, the corridors were.
Oh,
they were enough to see where you didn't have any obstacles to see or anything like that. Okay, so I'm going to.
That's
We
fair.
got that. So, you're teleporting from tree to tree.
Yes, basically just trying to stay up in the tree.
You can hear them from the wolves around there. They're scattering. They're moving. I'll get you to roll an insight.
Insight. Beautiful. That's something I do have.
Good.
And insight's intelligence?
Wisdom.
Wisdom. I keep getting those two confused for a lot of those. But I have proficiency in it, so that's good.
Glad I'm not anymore. Yes, it's wisdom. I'm 100% sure.
That's 6? That's a 6.
I was gonna say
Plus
it doesn't really matter when you roll low.
But it's a 6 plus a.
Oh, it's a 6
It's a 6 plus a
plus a fail.
plus a 5. So
Plus
it's
a
a
fail.
fail. So it's a fail.
It's a fail.
It's a fail. That's it.
No, it's not anything overwhelming anyway.
Yeah.
But you teleport out, boof, boof, tree to tree to tree. It's a pretty far distance through this wood here, but it's getting clear, and you can see it down at the base of this massive wide tree. There's this bead of light, about 12 feet up on the tree.
Is there a branch near it? Or they're just kind of in the middle of the tree?
It's kind of 12 feet up off from the bottom of the tree. There are several branches in the tree.
You just want to be in front of the tree.
I'm gonna just drop myself right down in front of it.
Okay.
Well, no, I'm gonna do a perception check first
Yes, absolutely. We're gonna do a perception check first.
before I drop down out of that tree. Because oh
And
hell,
get mauled by 4.
that does not matter. That's a 7.
Okay, good, because he only rolled a fucking 9. Okay, good. Sorry to, spoil it there for you. You drop down right in front of it. Woof. As you drop down, you look, the bead begins to glow and come down. And about halfway through, from the side of the tree, you can see this human walk out with the spear, and he just fucking launches it at you. He's a level 14 rogue. No. What's your AC again, sorry?
15.
15, okay. That's one
Riv.
hit as the spear deals 6 points of damage. It catches you in the shoulder, beds deep,
No Christ.
and it runs up, drawing a short sword, and it slices at your chest. And that's going to be a miss with a 3 on the dice.
Fantastic.
So you're naked. No, you don't have any armor.
No, I know. I'm a 10 AC.
It still misses. You rolled a 3.
Actually, no. Technically, I have my dexterity is AC too. So there's 14.
It hit the more crusty parts of your skin and all the
Yeah.
damage spots that couldn't really take any more
The
damage.
parts that I've burned so many times already.
That's his attack.
Oh, well.
You reach out and this is going to be interesting.
How far away is he from
The
me?
door. He's. You're within 5 feet of the door. He's like 5 feet to the left, to the right of you. He came around the tree.
Oh. Okay. So
On your turn, the blue light of the door hits the bottom and it begins to depress.
I really wish I had the reading for the spell because I found it on. It was from Fairwood book. It said it was from this black tentacles. So 4th level.
Oh, it's something's Evard's Black Tentacles. Evard's Black Tentacles.
Yes.
Yeah. They constrain, grapple
It's
things.
20 feet. It's a 20-foot circle and constrains. And if they, I can't remember if it's start or end their turn.
I think if they, the tentacles. There's a few different things. There's a few of them like that.
And
If it's not in this one, it's in that one.
It's probably in this one.
Okay, so I'm gonna say if it's a strength check, failed. So if he is being held, or if not, it's still your turn. You still have
Yeah,
move
I'm pretty
action.
sure it's in that one.
Okay, as far as black tentacles, we got 20-foot square. Becomes difficult terrain. Creature enters the affected area for the first time on a turn, or starts a turn there on a turn. So you're dropping it on it right away.
Yeah.
Deck save or takes 3d6 bludgeoning and restrained. If failed, it takes bludgeoning damage, so it's held, still alive. Okay. Perfect. So
I didn't need to kill him yet. I need him first.
you cast Vard's Black Tentacles.
Yes.
They erupt in a 20 feet around behind this guy, just the edge of him catching this guy, and they pull out and they wrap around his arms and his legs and they pull him in. He failed to save. He is restrained.
Fantastic. I say I'm just gonna take a very deep breath. Just sit for a second. Does he have clothes on and such?
Roll perception.
I steal
Does he have clothes? Yes!
18!
Yes, he has clothes on. He has. It looks like he's in standard ranger garb.
I'm gonna check his pockets, because Rangers usually have potions.
I'm going to roll something else here quickly.
And while I'm checking his pockets, I'd like to ask him, what am I doing here? Who are you? Furthermore, what is this place?
As you're talking to him, he begins to twitch and ravage, and he begins to grow hair and begins to grow muscles, and he becomes a werewolf. Now it's his turn.
You done goof, son.
If he can get out of the restraint.
You done goof, son.
He rips one arm out of the restraints. As the arm comes down, it comes at you with a claw. Because he didn't back away. Nothing.
No, I just sit there and ask questions, searching this person like, okay, what do you got on you?
Yeah.
Natural 20.
Oh god.
Bam! Big yellow dice.
Dead.
This was the claw. I said claw, I didn't say bite, so we'll go with that. 2d4 plus 44 plus 4. It's 44 plus 2. 44 plus 2, sorry.
On average, you done goofed.
Yep.
Did you roll any ones?
Yeah, 2 of them actually. I take 10 points of damage.
Oh, thank god.
You still alive?
Barely.
Okay, as he rips out his other arm and comes at you with his head for the bite. 18 on the dice. 1d8 plus 2. 6 points.
Well, that's the rest of my health.
Okay, as you fall, the door vibrating, sunken in, ready to be opened. A bite comes down at your neck, and just the blood squirts all over the stone door.
Well,
You breathe out. You're cold. Once beat every
Actually,
minute. Heartbeat.
actually, unfortunately, there wouldn't be much blood. Cause
Yeah, I was just
heart
thinking that your
my
beat
heart,
beats
my
once a
heart beats
minute.
once a minute, so it'd just be
So
chomp.
the werewolf has a dissatisfied look on its face as it holds this limp, barely lifeless body, drops it on the ground, and walks away. Turns into the beast, and you fade away into death.
Actually, if I take a fatal hit thanks to strength from the grave, I can...
Do it. Do it.
There's that, and potential for rolling a nat 20 on the death save.
Yep.
That's true, because he's not eating you because you're disgusting and non-living.
And cold.
And cold, exactly.
and gross, and I
This is
didn't
not
bleed at
cool.
all.
So
He was just like,
this
what?
turns out it is so ridiculous.
This is not what
He was like, this is not what I wanted.
Who sent a zombie after me?
So you had like 4 hit points?
I had 4 hit
Wow.
Sorcerer 65.
Okay, what are we looking up right now?
I need to Look
His
up the
death from the grave
strike
thing.
from the grave. Yep.
Bingo. Okay.
That would be the sorcerer there.
While he's doing that, I'm going to attempt Misty Step.
Yes. Misty Step out of the glue?
Yeah.
Okay.
Letting go of the key if necessary, but because it just Misty Steps just says you teleport 30 feet.
Yeah, I know you can't Misty Step somebody else, but I think it matters for what like equipment you're holding.
It doesn't say anything. It just says you teleport 30 feet.
Now, what page is it on in this book?
It's in the sorcerer. Pretty sure that.
No,
Oh,
I think it was,
no.
yeah,
Wrong one. That'd probably be why you can find
Yeah, I
it.
was just saying, like, huh. This doesn't look like the same. Oh, yeah, the goldfish. There we go. I was just saying, it was the Answer's Guide and everything I had before. That's a fun little ability. Right there, Shadow Magic, page 50.
Yeah. One bonus action. Self.
Start the first
Vocal, instantaneous. You briefly surrounded by silver mist. You teleport 30 feet to a non-occupied space you can see.
Okay.
What's that for?
Okay, I knew there was going to be sage advice about this for sure.
Yeah.
It's sovereign glue. I have to make sure. There's definitely rules around sovereign glue.
I knew what the sovereign glue. I knew it was sovereign glue just from your situation, but
Oh, that's it. I get
What do you need to cast Misty Step?
Wait, how much damage?
vocal.
You can cast it then. It's not. It's not hands.
How much damage was the bite that I took? 6?
6.
So it'd be 6. I have to roll a d20 at a DC of 6 plus 5, meaning 11. And if I successfully do it, I'm at 1 HP. Thank God for.
So try and roll above an 11, and then roll performance to pretend to be dead.
Yeah, that's play possum. Yes.
You rolled a 12.
Yes. Yes.
And that's
What?
you're up.
Yeah, I'm at 1
He
health.
needed-
So I'm
yeah.
just gonna pretend to be dead.
Nice.
Oh. And just go limp. And yeah, no blood came out or anything because, well, once a minute a little dribble just
Yeah.
kind of pours out of the hole. But it wouldn't be enough to notice. He's like, oh, that was
Yeah,
gross.
unfortunately, I didn't bring my DMD either, so I don't have.
But also notably,
Don't worry.
shadow mages are cold to the
Okay, I went through a few quick things there. It seems to be the consensus is that it goes with you. The thing you're holding becomes a part of your equipment, and it goes with you, from what I'm reading. And I'm going to do a little DM stretch for the trap, because the trap was technically failed. This is the outcome of the trap. Now, yeah, it's a little bit different there, because I mean, they say specifically you just can't Misty Step or teleport out of Sovereign Glue because it comes a part of what's your equipment. Like if you Sovereign Glue a dildo to your hand, it's a piece of your equipment now.
Yeah.
I just referenced something I shouldn't have.
Now it's
So-
going to come up all in your search histories.
So for the interim, we're going to say that you do Misty Step, but as you Misty Step, you poof to where you Misty Step with a cauldron on your arm.
And that was sort of where the. Because depending on how the key was and how you gripped it type thing, it's one of those. Are you actually touching the cauldron there? Or is it the.
I'd say that.
Or
the
are
glue,
you.
it becomes a unit. It was a specific magical trap.
Yeah.
Key in the bottom. Whether the key is really there or not, I didn't know. It was just maybe an illusion at the bottom. But I'm gonna say that since the trap was failed, this is the outcome. Misty Step moves it, but I'm gonna say the teleportation out of this one is not quite that easy.
Yeah.
Not particularly. But I'm going to look into that because that's an interesting thing to do. Because that's an interesting thing to know to be a wizard. Is to do. The sovereign glue, right? Sovereign
Yeah.
glue sucks.
Couldn't I technically shadow walk out of it if it was in a dark? If I was in a dark enough space?
Same thing. Piece of equipment.
Oh yeah.
Becomes something that
Yeah.
you're only.
So I basically lose my shoes.
No, you just go with it.
Oh.
Unless you took your shoes off.
Yeah, that's
like
it.
literally took
Yeah.
your shoes off, but then you wouldn't have to spend magic. You just take
Oh,
your
yeah.
shoes off.
But then I have to walk through the sovereign glue.
Well, it depends on where the sovereign glue is.
Well, for example, if you're in a pool of sovereign glue,
Yeah, but
then you're sinking.
the other thing is
Very slowly.
sovereign glue is done in batches, sort of like a tube of super glue.
Yeah.
Yep.
So you don't have a 5-foot pool of the
That's
stuff.
right. The
you
rat
imagine
trap
that?
of sovereign glue.
Could you imagine? Someone just trips and face plants in, dead.
So, that is the case. And I was struggling to the aftermath to see if the person didn't look at the door, I was going to get them to approach the door and be like, the door is closed. If someone just went for the key first, but I'm not cruel, I wouldn't do that. Of course the door is locked. Of course that's silly, right?
Yeah.
But it would have been really cruel to do on somebody. And really funny, I think. But so, you have a cauldron on your arm. You're at a disadvantage of strength and athletic checks.
Okay.
Probably quite heavily.
But it's just seems to be a iron cauldron. The only magical thing about it is the sovereign glue that holds it all together. And the room is surrounded. You're in sand. Oh, that's right. Yeah, that's right. And you're in sand. And the door across from you seems to be. I made a misnomer. My apologies. The door was not wood. It's not wood. All the doors have been stone. There wouldn't be a wooden door. It would be a stone door. And as soon as you misty stepped,
I would have tried to Misty step right beside the door.
yeah, you do that, and the door begins to open. As you notice, there where the cauldron was a hole, and sand begins to fall down into the hole, releasing some sort of weight, opening the door. It seemed to be the trigger to open the door. So you go over by the door, and the door, like, it was a stone door, but it would have like you didn't investigate it or anything, but it would have had something to have a lock. You'd have to put in a key, obviously.
Yeah.
So you pop over there, door begins to open. Fucking traps. And the door opens to. Let me see here. Oh, that's right. So, yeah, the door opens and depresses and slides to the right to a long room. It's about 20 feet wide. It goes about 40 feet deep. On the far end, you can see blue bead on the top of the door. You can see a blue bead. Or on top of the wall, sorry. Of the stone wall. The sand seemed to have poured into this area as the door opened. And there's about a foot and a half of sand that kind of drifts down to ground level. Do you walk through?
So this is in the new room, or?
Yeah, this is in the room. You're still in the room with sand, and the door is opened into this new area.
Yeah, we'll try and drag the cauldron in. And,
So, what is your strength?
15.
Okay, you'd probably be able to.
Man.
Yeah,
Pretty heavy. Pretty heavy call.
it's gonna be cool when it comes all the way down to the end of this, though. I can't. Sorry, I'm just imagining awesome stuff. My apologies. So you get through. As soon as you cross the barrier, the door shifts over and closes. It pushes more sand off into the side. And there's a little bit more sand pushed over to the right-hand side. In front of you, you can see a floor. Roll perception. Sorry. That is not a disadvantage.
That is a 24.
24.
You can see this. Can you see the
Absolutely.
friggin' glue?
The floor seems to be white, very white. Not like the stone. It seems white, almost like marble or something like that. It kind of has some swirls to it as you kind of look onto it, and it seems to be shattered, but not shattered in small pieces. Shattered in like larger, maybe half foot, 1 foot chunked pieces. And they seem to be shattered all the way to the end. Now every 10 feet on the right side, there's this pool of water. Another 10 feet up on the left side, there's a pool of water, and there's 4 of them that go up and go up. And at the end of the chamber of 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 feet, you can see the bead on the wall.
So, from where I'm standing to the next pool of water, how far is that?
That is going to, that's about 7 feet, because you're partially walking on some sand right now.
Okay.
Yeah, that'd be about 7 feet.
Can I see what the walls of the container that the water's in?
They seem to be in separate iron braziers that would that you think would hold coals, but they hold water instead, just like a pan.
So they're actually above?
No, they're on ground level, sunken into the ground.
Okay.
But you can see kind of a rim of steel around where this is clearly marble-ish plaster something, and then this iron, yeah. Or steel. Maybe gold. Yeah, it's gold.
How heavy would you say the cauldron is?
I would say 80 pounds. I don't know, maybe not. I'm not thinking like a big witch's cauldron. Yeah. Just like enough to kind of.
It's a cooking cauldron.
A standard cooking cauldron someone would have. So probably about 80 pounds, I would say. Really, really, really heavy kettlebell.
Well, I'm assuming it's filled with the glue.
Oh, there's only about 2 inches of glue on the bottom. Yeah, just about 2 inches. And that's all.
That's pain.
So it's really off center too. You know, it's all fucking balanced up here.
Every time he takes a step, just hitting one side or the other.
Okay, I'm gonna roll on it. Okay, so I rolled 2 numbers. I'm gonna split the difference. I rolled 98 and 51, so call it 75 pounds.
No, because of the way you've been wording. Yeah. Yeah, well, so you can't do it.
Sorry?
I was looking at some options, and pretty sure under the wording we've gone with that I can't do it.
Okay. That trap was called the flesh pot.
Yeah, that's definitely something you don't want to search.
Yeah, don't look that up on the internet.
Yeah. Yeah, I will. If I polymorphed into something, would it still?
It would. It's a piece of equipment. It will turn into the creature.
Yeah.
Why's that bird got a key for? That snake got a fin.
Worst part is, I have detect magic and I didn't friggin' use it.
That would have been a big one.
Yeah.
Yeah. The pot is glowing from the inside.
See,
it's not the key.
Yeah. There's a puddle around the key. Yeah. No.
My brain, I don't know why, when I went magic, I was like, I'm just gonna attack. Don't need support.
Well, that's what the werewolves were for.
And I just avoided all the werewolves. I was like, nope.
This is to kill. I'm gonna run.
Too many.
One of the other annoying things, I was looking at through the list of spells. Do I want counterspell or do I want dispel magic?
Oh no. Well, yeah, it still might come in handy. Don't worry. That's fantastic. Oh man, I love this whole scenario. This is great.
Yeah. Yeah, because all the options I have: a teleport, a change shape, a teleport. Yeah. Those ones are all the equipment basically go with you. The other one is an object not carried.
There you go. Yep. That's sovereign glue.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Did I get a single wolf with that branch that fell, or did it just...
Oh, the branch made the other wolf fall down.
Nice.
He took 1d6 falling damage.
Nice.
Down.
Freaking trying to follow me in a tree.
Yeah, I will try and manhandle the cauldron basically from where I am, try and get it close to the first pool of water.
Sounds good.
Not trying to get it actually in.
Oh, just next to it?
Yeah.
Okay, athletics with disadvantage, my friend.
Technically never disadvantage.
19?
Stealth too, I'm pretty sure.
Probably, yeah.
Clone.
19.
19? Okay. Yeah, you get it right where you want it. You launch it, it's kind of takes you for a moment. It's heavier than you thought, but it takes you, you stumble and you walk across the marble a little. Or did you mean you want to try it to take you that way? Or you're still kind of moving?
Yeah, it was sort of...
Gotcha. I know what you're talking about. Okay, so,
Yeah,
so
try-
you heft it over and you walk. You step hard on the marble on the first step, and the first step, your first step takes on the marble. Then you take your second step, trying to heave it some more. Your second step, your second foot holds up again, and as you drop the cauldron on the marble beside it, it smashes through the marble. And as it smashes through the marble, it goes down about 1.5 feet, and what splashes up is this green slime, and it gets all over you, and then you're covered in this green slime.
Doesn't seem to be hurting or anything.
Nope.
Sorry, but wouldn't the cauldron falling, like breaking through and falling, wouldn't that pull him down a bit?
Stop
Oh yeah, no, that's why it's all over his chest, because
Yeah.
he went down all over. It's on his face, it's on his chest, it's on his arms. Yeah.
Beautiful. Well, it smells
Investigation to see if I can figure out what this is.
Absolutely. So you roll a rear investigation.
Well, it smells like paint, looks like paint, tastes like paint. It's probably paint.
27.
27. Okay, you paint on your fingers. It's really, really slick, and it seems to be really slimy. This is going to be hard to clean off. You smell it.
No, it's not.
It's acrid. It's,
I already know what you're gonna do.
and you can hear something. It's just this kind of this buzzing sound. Roll dexterity.
That is a grand total of 6.
6. Okay. So as you're looking at it, you're really smelling it. Just so as you're looking up, you've got the cauldron down by your side. You're looking up, and you can see at the far end of the of the of the room. You're smelling it. I know what this is. And then you can see something drop down from the ceiling, and as it hits the ground, it just scratches the ground and it lights up this set of sparks. And the sparks just erupt and they shoot off in different directions down the corridor towards you. And with the 6, unfortunately, one of the sparks hits you. And as soon as one of them hits you, and you just get the idea, you know what this is. You get half the word out. Alchemist, as it explodes all over you in fire. Yeah. There's all my d6s.
I knew there was more fire damage coming someone's way soon.
It was all random. It could have been not fire damage. It just these were the traps.
Okay. The percentile we rolled in the beginning was just a survival rate chance.
I'm glad I roll higher than you.
Well, I'm glad that every time I go down, at least get one shot to come back up at 1 HP and just.
45 points of fire damage.
It's a doozy.
That is a doozy.
And you are on fire. This fire has a greenish yellow hue to it. What do you do?
I want to go for another polymorph.
Hey, that take out the fire?
I don't know if it would.
I don't think it would. I think it just make you burn.
Burn as a lizard or
Burn as something smaller.
But if I turn into something into something small enough to fit inside the cauldron.
The cauldron you're holding?
No,
The water cauldron?
Yeah.
Oh, it's like a 5 by 5.
Yeah.
It's huge, so yeah. Well, not huge. Huge is for
Yeah.
like a cauldron of water in a corridor. It's that's a strange lot of water just as we sit there.
Yeah, if I turned into something and submerged myself in that, would that put me out?
Would it?
What
would you roll in an investigation?
27.
27. Yeah, you're gonna know that's not gonna help. You know what you got on you is reactive to water. Yeah.
So
These grand 4 pools of water.
Another point of the trap.
Ooh! Yeah, I get to roll way more d20s or d6s if you jump in there full of alchemist fire. Oh lord. So you gotta turn.
control flame would be a really good spell to have.
Yes, it would.
That would clear it up just fine.
Would I be able to fit under the cauldron without touching the bottom where the rest of the glue is?
You mean sit yourself in the cauldron?
If I flip the cauldron upside down over my head.
Oh no, I'd say it's not that big.
Okay.
You could probably fit like your head, your whole arm and your head up to your other shoulder inside the cauldron.
And that's like when you said that I had to reach in, I figured it was one of those. It was if.
Yeah, it was kind of. I have a problem with naming things sizes, but yeah, I would say it's the length of your arm up to the middle of your bicep.
Yeah.
Bicep. Yeah. So you're in there with your fist, and it's
So I'm
like that.
assuming there's no water in the cauldron. It's just the glue.
No, it was just the glue at the bottom.
Okay.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
I was gonna say if you could get enough strength to do so, bring it up above your head, dump all the water down.
There you go. Oh, you feel it.
But then
Uh,
alchemist fire. That's fun.
yeah.
Yes.
It's cool that none of you have died yet.
I'm lucky.
You came very close.
I am very lucky that I have that ability to not die.
I probably know a fair bit about Alchemist Fire.
I would think so. It's a perfect guy to get in there and get covered with Alchemist Fire.
Yeah.
I'm sorry for some reason pitching him like the whole time.
Would I know an easy, like one of the easier ways to put it out?
You know, sand, wet. Sorry, you know, water, wet. Either way, water, wet. You know, it's not a good combination. I thought of the room you were just in. Roll insight since I fucking gave the clue away.
17.
17, yeah, you're thinking, you just came from a room full of sand. You look behind you. There's about a little big pile of sand over there.
I'll go bury myself in sand.
Yeah, that's it. You jump in, you toss, you turn. Roll Constitution. Yeah, roll Constitution.
20.
Okay, good enough. Yeah, the fire. You jump in that sound roll. You get right in deep. The cauldron's full of sand now. It's 95 pounds, but you're not fighting. It's 75 pounds still, but the fires have been doused.
Okay.
It's kind of the sand's kind of sticking to you because you kind of doused it and it's still kind of liquidy and stuff. There's still some on you.
I just pictured him the whole time while he was like trying to figure out what to do. He's just like on fire. What do I do about this? Sand!
The cauldron attached to my arm on fire. It's like,
Just while burning, just guy at the end of the tunnel just.
I really don't want to fight this guy.
He's looking at him like, what is wrong with him? Just, what do I do?
My rapidly shortening beard.
Yeah, his burned up like a candle wick.
So you are off. You're no longer on fire. You're in the sand.
So what caused the sparks?
You're not quite sure. What you've seen, something at the other end of the room fell from the ceiling, came down and scraped the floor, which caused sparks, and the sparks just kind of erupted down 5 or 6 different streams of spark, like a Roman cannonball firework, if you could think of it. And boom, 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 all 5 went down, and one of them got you. Yeah.
For some reason,
What you now see is that particular thing is now retracting back up into the ceiling.
Turn a Mario with a fireball ability to take a fire. Just.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, kind of.
So it doesn't make weird blooping sounds when it hits the ground.
No.
So is the door closed behind me?
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to regret this decision.
It's most good choices.
So the corner there, is it in the sand with the solid, or the one I'm closest to?
So when you came in, the corridors or the corridor unit is 20 feet wide.
Yeah.
And 10 feet ahead of you is where the first brazier of water begins, and the sand is about 6 to 8 feet in a round circle around where the door opened.
Okay. So it wouldn't be right over in that.
No, yeah, there's still 5 feet of just. Oh, that's right. The first 10 feet of this area is stone. Then it begins to be that stuff that can fall through.
Now that I actually know that it's alchemist fire, I'm gonna do something incredibly stupid.
I got a job done.
Not quite.
Oh, I forgot. Seriously, sorry.
I'm going to use the cauldron as sort of a shield. And I'm going to firebolt the alchemist fire.
Okay. Firebolt the alchemist fire. In the ground? The hole that opened? Okay. Okay. Roll your attack. There's a chance you could roll a 1 and not kill yourself.
That's why I'm using the cauldron as a shield. It's like, protect me.
Oh, my brain went to, for some reason, you were casting it in the hand that was in the shield. I'm like, why?
No.
That's a terrible idea. So shoots the shield off your hand.
There's the cauldron-sized hole in the ground. You can see this green, yellowish ooze kind of bubbling up and moving around. You cast your magical fire at it. It hits, and you can see it just shoot fire straight up. And then you can hear a rumble as you can see the cracks of that marble crack all the way down to the back of the hallway, and just fire explodes and rushes at you in the wall and smashes you into the wall, and it disintegrates you in a second. You are dead. Yeah. The whole room was full of alchemist fire everywhere. So,
and that was one of the things. It was, depending on how you interpret it, it basically just sits there and burns.
Yeah.
Yep.
For all eternity, pretty much.
And burns itself out.
Yeah.
No, you covered up and just, boom, within seconds, you're just not evaporated, disintegrated, and life is meaningless once more. Oof. Your eyes open. You get thrust into this room. There's a cauldron on your hand. You're standing in sand. There's cauldrons of water and unbroken marble before you. What do you do?
Oh, God damn it.
Well, let's not do that.
I'm just watching in my mind, seeing it just, the fire hit and just kind of rumble and start maybe from the back and just go like, poof, 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 and just blast you right up against the, oh man.
Round two just,
yeah.
round two just. Just, I want to make sure it doesn't do it again.
Durno, I've come to negotiate.
The thing comes kind of strike a little bit too hard this time, goes underneath and causes a spark in the alchemist fire. Boom!
Note to self, fireball is out the window.
No fire attacks. Ice might work. You can't freeze alchemist fire, though, I'm pretty sure.
No.
It would look cool though.
Frozen green, oh hell yeah.
That's a wicked cinematic. Ice dragon going up against some. Ooh, oh, I'm keeping that. That one's in the bank. There we go.
Came an idea, shit.
Yep.
I'll have the cauldron up and try to walk across as slow as I can.
Okay, there you go. That's it. Walk across slow. It's a dexterity saving. Oh, okay. I forgot to tell you that because of the cauldron, it's at disadvantages.
It's a very, very heavy cauldron, I should have thought of it.
Well, I went from a 6 to a 5.
Oh, you got worse. Oh my god.
Shit.
I rolled a 4. And then you're like, at disadvantage. It's like, oh, can't get much worse. 3. Oh.
So you can.
So when you remember. There you go. There's always the reset.
That's not my
You
neck.
remember what happened. You feel it's fresh in your mind, the burning sensation. Now, however quick it was still intense. And you begin to move through. And each step you take, smash, crack. Your foot's falling into this much. It's difficult terrain. You only move in half your move speed. So you move. Do you take your action to do another? Do you dash or? It's 50 feet from wall to wall. You started at the 10 feet, so you theoretically have to make 40 feet.
Damn wording the rules. No, because like a lot of the stuff say an object not worn, so
They really thought this through.
yeah.
It probably had like 1 month on its own. Okay, let's fuck with them. Sovereign glue.
One of the worst parts is Sovereign Glue's back from like 2nd edition.
Oh,
or
you see,
something.
that's why they brought it back. Because they're like, we need something.
It's been in pretty much every edition. It's just one of those. Yeah, there needs to be super glue,
Yeah, this is gonna be fun.
and not just standard super glue, magic super glue.
Magic super glue.
The worst use I've seen for sovereign glue was we thought it was just a bucket of water when we poured it in Buddy's mouth. It just instantly glued shut. And,
Well.
and it covered his nose too, so he just it slowly looked at us turning blue. Like,
That's death. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's gonna be hard to find the solution, the
Universal
solvent for
solvent.
the universal solvent for that in like 3 minutes.
well, so the DM quickly taught us that oxygen's important because he died after 2 minutes.
Yep.
2 rounds he died.
I'm not surprised. All right, so each foot. So you make it about how your move speed's 30.
Yeah.
Okay, you make it in 15 feet. Before you realize it's tough going through.
Yeah, I'll still.
Okay, so you're moving 15 more. You get 30 feet through. You get to the end, about 10 feet, and you can see there's this small stone ledge, about 2 feet wide, and then you can see the blue stone at the top, the blue light, and you get there, and then you can see a slot open in the top, about 3 or 4 meters wide, and this chain drops down with this black stone on it. And as it comes down, it hits the ground, and you can see the marking where it was before, and it hits it again, and you can see 5 bursts of fire, spark, fly out in that direction. I need you to make a dexterity saving throw. With disadvantage.
Yeah.
This cauldron thing is really completely random. I just rolled the dice to see what traps would happen. I love how they lined up.
Yeah, I am absolutely screwed.
Okay. Alright, so it hits you square. The bolts, maybe even 2 of them hit you. And 2 more go back there. I need the roll percentile for that. Okay.
At least you don't have
That's a lot of ones.
At least you don't have Alchemist Fire covering you this time.
I rolled 5 ones. $31 points of Alchemist Fire damage.
Oh, it's still Alchemist
I
Fire.
rolled really low on that one.
Yeah.
That goes off, and you could kind of look back because something cringes in the back of your mind that you walk through this whole thing making holes all the way over here.
Oh yeah.
And as you,
I don't even bother turning around. It's like
it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen.
But
It doesn't happen.
Oh.
A wash of semi-relief rolls over you as you're doused in flame already. Now you're not dead instantly. Well, maybe is it relief or not? 31 points of fire damage. I wish I'd be dead right now.
do I start back from full or
31 trade.
Yeah, from since you didn't take any damage the first thing, you start at full for this one.
okay?
I tried 31, how was that? Took 81. Just lava hurts.
And then we are at your turn again.
I'd find a way to stop that thing from hitting the ground again.
Yeah. Unfortunately, it's at the other end of the hallway.
We don't have Mage Hand?
Mage hand, a handful of sand over, rub it all over ya.
I was gonna say Mage Hand.
10 pounds of sand.
Well, I was gonna say prep Mage Hand for when it started falling to catch it, so it didn't hit the ground. And that way it just hangs there, and you can just keep walking.
But in order to activate the damn thing, I gotta get across there.
So you're approximately 12 feet from that.
Try and get there. I don't imagine there's any sand on that end.
There is not, but as you begin to walk towards the door, stumble as you're on fire, trying to, it just did almost death throws caught on fire. That you can see the light begins to glow and Not that you can hear anything, of course, and the door
Over the
begins
roar.
to impress, and you run up and you hit it with your hand, and it begins to open. It's roll acrobatics with disadvantage.
Because they're on fire and holding kelp.
Oh wow.
That's unfortunate.
I don't actually suck at that.
Oh wow.
16.
Okay, good.
Oh,
So
that's
I'm gonna,
pretty good.
as you push up against it, the fire's it's still on you, and you just you can feel the door starting open. You throw your body through, and you slip through. Instantly, you can feel the fire go out. You do take damage, half for this round because you made the save there, but you do get through. It's only 66 damage.
I'm more worried about this damn cauldron.
18 points of fire damage.
That's not so bad. That's better than 30.
As you push through, and you kind of stumble, and you lean up against something. You're kind of breathing heavy. You're looking at your arms. They're kind of smoking. The steams of smoke coming off them. You can't believe what the hell just happened. However, after everything that happened so far today,
Kind of wish I knew about the restart before this happened.
Right?
it catches some people.
I can't die apparently. It's just, nope.
It happened to Zach last time we did this. He went down to like 7 hit points, walked through the door, saved 7 hit points for the next session, for the next increment. Yeah, it's a hard lesson. But he role played it very well, very well. So yes, back here. Yeah. You stumble into a dark. It's dark in here, pitch black. You stumble up against something cold, about up to the bottom of your rib cage. You kind of bend over, just breathing, looking at your arms. You can hear the door behind you closing, or you can't hear it. It's silent. The door behind you closes, and you're in the dark. No more fire, no more pain, just cold and quiet.
Light.
Lights up the area. You can see you are in a corridor, 10 feet wide. Well, not a corridor. It's a 10-foot wide room that goes off in the distance for you can see 40 feet in the end of your dim light. And what you see before you, I'll get you to roll perception.
25.
25. You look down at what you're got your hands on in the light. You can see you're kind of touching something.
I can see my hands are one a cauldron, two.
Clang.
You cast light into there's a light on the cauldron. The cauldron is on. Big bright white cauldron lighting up this area. But it lights it up. And you got one hand in your cauldron and one hand on here, and you can feel it's kind of molded, and as the light casts on you, you can see it's a shape of a body, a female body. It's a sarcophagus or something of that sort, it appears. Up ahead about 15, 20 feet, you see another one.
Oh, fantastic. That's going to make combat interesting.
I mean, you can always test your luck with the cauldron. Try and smash the sarcophagus.
No. Pissing off mummies is not what you want to do.
I mean, I figured you got a reset, so. But we don't know how many resets we have.
Yeah, I'd rather not find out
Yeah,
the hard way
test
that...
how many resets we have. Funny, you have 3 lives, that's it. You're a character trapped in a video game.
Where's the damn tutorial?
When you find when you find out you're when you wake up in a platformer.
Okay. Yeah. So that's where you are.
So it's only 10 feet wide and just goes down?
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, try and haul the cauldron and avoid the sarcophagus if possible.
Sounds good. You make your way down about 20 feet to the next sarcophagus, and you can see that there's another one. And then beyond that, there seems to be a T intersection. You see a stone wall, no bead at the top of this one, but it seems to have a left and a right.
Make down and see if I can see anything in either direction.
Okay. You look to the left. You can see in that room, it goes for about a 10-foot corridor, and then the room opens up again. You can see another sarcophagus sitting inside there. And to the right-hand side, you look down. It goes about 10 feet and opens up into another room. And you don't see a sarcophagus in the middle of that room. It just seems to be open from this point of view.
I'm gonna go towards the way that has the sarcophaguses.
Okay, sounds good. So you hang
I'm
a
gonna
left.
assume that there's more than one.
Yeah. Well, maybe. You go in here. You make the left. You walk the 10 feet into the door, and roll perception when you get to the doorway.
21.
21. Okay, you can see.
Figures it's only the glue I can't see.
You see that there's only one sarcophagus in this room, and the sarcophagus happens to be open, slid off the top end about halfway.
Anything else in the room?
That seems to be it. Rather plain surroundings, the same kind of stone that you've seen. Lots of cobwebs hanging around.
Okay.
Same similar stone.
I'll take a walk back the other way, see what's in the other room.
Okay, what was your perception again when you came in this room? 19? 21?
25.
25.
Because I rolled a 19.
Okay, 25. Alright, just as you are turning around, you hear it at first. A scrape, a claw on the ceiling.
On the ceiling?
On the ceiling.
From the room?
Yeah, from the room. Roll for initiative.
Yeah. I'm gonna stay in this hall.
She rolled a stealth of 24.
15.
15. Okay.
Oh man, wouldn't the vampires be so mad if they if I would have got that room? Tried to bite me and they're like, where's the blood?
Sort of like your werewolf.
Yeah. Waits a minute. Oh, there it is. Oh, where'd it go?
Okay, so yeah. Okay, good. So as you kind of turn around, just look over your shoulder, just at the last second, you can see this, this creature. Its skin pale. Okay, its skin pale, its eyes beating red, its hair white and kind of wispy. It's wearing this dress that seems to be like perhaps a wedding dress, but all tattered and marked and stained. As she leaps from the ceiling, right on your back, and her claws grab onto your shoulder. And I already rolled that attack. Yes, It was almost critical. And it is going to grapple you instead of dealing damage. Okay. You get that opposed check now or on your turn?
I think it's opposed to when it first tries, and then basically on whenever on my turn if I want to attempt to break it.
Okay, so I need an athletics at disadvantage, please. Oh,
I can do one better.
Excellent.
So when she comes in,
Reach for the stars.
I forgot to incorporate something into my.
Oh no! Critical flaw.
It was a misinput! Misinput! It was a misinput!
No, my initiative was actually 18, not 15.
Oh, 18. Okay, what did she?
Why did the
Well, I think she actually rolled 18. What's your dex?
14.
Okay, so you would have actually gone first.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Just because I'm wielding my quarterstaff.
Yep.
So whenever someone enters my range, I get to make an attack of opportunity.
Okay. Perfect.
So, but if that's the case, I'm going to step back into the hallway. Assume that is that. Because I will be using the shield. Because the damn cauldron. See, had I known about the reset, as soon as I got stuck to this damn cauldron, I would have killed myself.
See, I have the most annoying benefit and unbenefit to the reset, because yes, I could just die and have all my health back. But what's the fun in that one? I can just stay at one hit point the entire time.
Certainly, it makes the challenge of this is. Wait till you guys see. It's gonna be.
Just get next room.
I can't. You're both gonna.
My plan is
Can't
just,
say anymore because I'm gonna fucking ruin it. I'm gonna fucking ruin it.
well, my whole plan for my character right now is just to wait for the werewolf to go away, open my eye, and like open the door.
Yeah.
Oh wow. I can't believe you pulled that shit off. That's so cool.
I know.
So cool.
There's like,
Yeah. You don't want no dead piece of meat. Oh.
just baby, where's the blood? Trying to make it so hard to do.
Yeah. Oh.
And I was like, but I don't bleed. And you're like,
So I'm going to move back into the hallway, and I will ready. I'll ready a lightning bolt
Okay. Okay.
for when
When
it
she
appears.
comes through the corridor.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. And she comes through the corridor. You can see instead of leaping down at you, you got the move first. So she kind of spider climbs down. All
Down around the top of the
Yeah,
ceiling, it's
exactly.
like, hi.
You know, as soon as she peeks her head over, dex save. Wipe back down. Pretty sure it's going to be a save, but half anyways.
What's your roll for a save?
Big dex save. 20, dirty 20.
Okay. Just want to make sure it is actually.
Want to cast it at a higher level?
No, it's. I know Fireball is 66, but I don't know if
Lightning Bolt is, yeah, it's 66.
I want to say that one was exploit
the only real question I have
8d6.
now is,
Oh, it's 86.
Yeah.
Shit, that's good to know. The last one I rolled was 6. Damn. Good to know. Someone told me that one time, and I was like, oh, cool, 66, and then I just went with it.
I have one really overpowered attack, and that's it. That's just chain lightning, and then I realized the other call lightning you have to be outside to use anyway, so I can't even do.
I've heard to Black Tentacles.
Ah,
Player handbook.
there we go.
The one book we
go.
didn't check
Yeah.
because we figured it was one of the more advanced ones.
No, it's just no. You can't find me here. I was hoping the Black Tentacle was pulled that werewolf. It looked a bit better. Didn't quite do the job.
Firewall's also
He just
8d6.
turned into a werewolf, that's all. If he's still at his human form. Sorry?
Firewall's also 8d6.
Where am I getting 6 from?
I think it was 3.5. It was 6. Yep. Pretty sure.
You
the
know,
others-
every goddamn fireball I rolled against every single one of you guys has been 66.
Yeah.
Every single time. Fucking the gloves are off now. Let's roll some dice. For years! Years!
Yeah, I know.
Fucking years!
Betrayed by your own system.
Oh.
Well, that's.
Fuck that, roll 66. It's canon.
It's canon now in this house. It's homebrew shit.
Yeah, that's right. Roll the 8. No, definitely roll the 8. I'm just joking. That's the rule. I want to roll 8d6 too, man.
It's 5.5 edition.
23, so. Missed.
I know. I almost have the contract. Started with roll for a second. Sorry about that. Fly can be a nuisance.
Alright. She comes around the corner, you shoot the lightning bolt off, and it hits her right in the shoulder, zips right through her frail body.
Sets her on fire.
Sorry?
If she is easily flammable, she is set on fire.
Now,
I
how
would
wrong
say
is the
that
flash?
she's
How
pretty easily flammable, this decaying, willowy, withered
Oh
thing.
yeah. Oh yeah. That's just a bunch of bone. That's just a bunch of dust and bone. waiting
That's
for
the other
it.
thing I didn't know lightning bolt did. That's good too.
Same with most lightning attacks, chain lightning and call lightning. Do the same thing. If on impact, if it's burnable, it burns.
Oh yeah. Her dress immediately catches a flame. Bit of her hair too, because it's in that same spot.
Trying to get a look at the vampire chick. Wow.
And is that your turn?
Oh, sorry. It ignites flammable objects in the area that aren't worn or carried.
Oh.
More or carry. Oh, okay,
More.
alright.
What if she is the flammable?
Is the wall carrying her?
So if I'm wearing a sheet of oil,
No, you're gonna.
you're gonna light the fuck up.
Yeah.
There are
If
limits,
you're carrying a cauldron of oil,
you're gonna get lit
which
up.
we can do.
if you are carrying a cauldron of alchemist fire, it doesn't ignite it. You dick.
So she crawls on the ceiling
Vampires can crawl.
and then descends upon you.
I mean, I assume it's a
Mummy or
vampire.
mummy lord.
I assume it's a
I'm
vampire.
gonna, and since her attack was on the turn, I'm gonna reroll her attack.
No, I feel like you're in
And
Crypt,
this
that's
time,
what I assume
I
vampire.
believe she will miss. That's 14 to hit.
So as soon as she comes into range,
Yep.
polymorph.
Oh, okay.
I
Same.
could. So
Yeah.
my build is when I'm wielding a quarterstaff, when someone comes into my threat range, I get an attack of opportunity.
Warcaster.
Plus Warcaster.
Nice.
My attack of opportunity
Dirty.
can turn
Dirty.
it into a spell that targets a creature.
Okay, what's the save?
Uh,
I don't think it's gonna matter, but I still want to know.
uh,
Charisma, I think.
I want to say wisdom.
Either way. She rolled a 5.
She
She
didn't,
fails.
She didn't get fire.
And she turns into something.
Let's go with the toad.
A toad. Okay, perfect. Just on the ceiling. 10-foot ceiling.
Having known that,
Yeah.
probably,
Something a little bigger. So a little more hit points. Maybe a little more than a D6.
maybe something that has a fly speed.
There you go. That works too. Yep, that'll work.
Tear into a hippopotamus so I can take all.
That I'm like, okay, what can we do for one shot? It's like, okay, this is probably like an arena style thing. So yeah, let's go with some idiot that runs up and thinks that I'm gonna be an easy one.
Yeah, no, that is
Nope.
so cool. That is so cool. Alright, so she turns into a sparrow. Kind of flutters around you a few times, kind of drops on your shoulder. Sparrow, she's trying to attack you, doesn't realize it can't happen.
I do something like a moth or something harmless that.
She flutters around, and then flutters away. Realizing that her moth attention span dissipates and she goes towards somewhere else.
She goes towards the next lead
Yeah.
lantern.
And
An unwell creature has to make a wisdom saving throw.
wisdom, okay, perfect.
Yeah, wouldn't his light be the only source of light around?
Yeah, you're absolutely right.
So the moth
So,
will just
moth
fly.
or bird? Bird's flying away, a moth is going to hang around your glowing light.
I'll leave it. Leave the moth.
Okay, moth flying around.
We got a moth chilling with it. So that we get annoyed and just its calls turned into a wall.
Excellent. Alright. Einheart, as you stand in this room with your light and this moth flying around this light in a very aggressive manner, what do you do?
Well, there was nothing in this room. I'll go check the other room.
Okay, you go towards the other room. Alright, I get you roll perception when you walk into that room.
Another 25.
Very nice, very nice. As you turn the corner in that room, the room goes in and immediately turns into another corridor. You can see about 30 feet down, there is a stone wall, blue light. And you can also see that there are 4 alcoves, 1 on each side, 2 on each side that go down.
I'll investigate the up. Take my time and investigate the alcove.
Alright, roll investigation.
25.
Alright. As you start checking out the alcoves, the first one on the right hand side, it seems to have, as you walk in, new light casting, it seems to be some brushes and some hay of some sorts pushed up against the corner. You can see some bones, a skull, a femur. You go to the other side, you check the other one, it seems to be the same thing. You move into the second set of alcoves, and out of the right hand side you can see these 2 big glaring red eyes. We're 5 feet away from you.
Oh, fantastic.
Roll initiative. 6.
16.
You go first, my friend.
I also had the realization my character just kind of laying on the floor completely naked.
Yep. It's like this is it's,
Like-
who's that villain with the face?
Two-Face?
Two-Face?
Two-Face, yeah, like except your half, the back half of you is like that.
Yeah.
The back half of you is like that.
Well,
Yeah.
I'm gonna back up.
Okay. And what was your initiative?
16.
16. You were going first, yeah. You.
Yeah, because you had said
Yeah,
I was
you
going
backed away.
first, so.
Okay. Now he's in the corridor. You're about 10 more feet in. The door is 20 feet away. The blue light is 20 feet away.
I'll see if I can get. I can get to the door without being near him.
You investigated. I'm gonna say that, and then you moved away from him. I just want to know which way you moved away. Back the way you came, or towards the door?
Well, I wasn't sure where. Like, I looked at the first two. There was the other stuff, and then I moved up, and then there was the eyes in one of them.
Yeah, on the right-hand side, you moved up, and then about 5 feet away from you in the darkness, there's these. I suppose not darkness anymore. You see a troll.
Well, then I am definitely going to move towards the door.
Okay, sounds good. Yeah, I'd say get another 5 feet towards the door. Right now, you're 15 feet away from the door. Okay, and
10 feet control, I believe.
now yeah. Okay, so you move away from the door. No attack of opportunity because he hasn't had the opportunity to do anything. And actions on you. You have your action and your bonus action to remain.
So I move up to the door, and I'm assuming
Are you gonna dash up to the door?
gonna try.
Okay, if you use your dash, you can get to the door for sure.
Yeah, all that. Dash
Okay.
to the door.
So it begins to light up, and begins to depress.
That's got protection. She's heading out now.
Okay, sounds good.
Yeah.
So we got about half hour.
Yep.
Okay,
I assume she's coming from Kentville, so.
sounds good. Just know you guys are gonna be in rough shape anyway, so it's all
Oh,
right.
fuck. I'm for rough shape I can be.
I didn't get any healing.
I'm at 1 hit point right now.
You're at 1.
I'm at 1. I came back at 1 hit point with the.
Oh, with the thing, the
with
best
the roll.
ability.
So
There you go.
I'm just
Okay.
lying there in the dirt.
I'm gonna
Like,
drop darkness on you.
You're gonna drop darkness.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I can't. Because I used my action to dash.
Yes, that's right. That's right. Okay, so you get up there to the door and it's beginning to open, and that's that. Now, the troll moves, and fuck does he move? He only's got to move 20 feet, but he runs, and he is going to make 3 attacks at you.
So as soon as he comes out,
Mhm.
I'm gonna drop my polymorph.
Okay.
So he has 2 targets.
Okay. Okay.
doesn't that take the polymorph off the moth?
Yeah.
Yeah. She got turns back.
So she's just. But she's above.
It's cool that you're doing that too because she's next in the initiative order. That's fucking awesome. Thank you.
Just gonna keep
Thank you.
polymorphing them back and forth.
Thank you. Okay, so poof. Surprisingly, she turns back into her former self and will perform a full attack upon you. Claws first. 18 plus 24 to hit. I'm going to get you to roll your escape from the grapple. As she's going to choose to grapple instead.
That is a fail.
DC 13.
Roll a 5.
Oh, okay. So you grapple. Oof. She gets you. The claws going deep here and one at your side, and she kind of. You can feel the smile on her face, and she then.
Who's your friend?
Ooh, she rolled a 2 on the claw or your grapple. She doesn't get advantage on you, does she? You just can't move.
Yeah, my speed 0.
Yeah, that's all.
Or something like that.
So, bite is a total miss for the bite, which is good because it's a bad bite.
It's sad you can miss someone while trying to bite them while holding them still.
Well, it's one of those things that I am in armor,
Yep.
so
It'd be more like gnawing at the armor.
So
Yeah.
that being said, you're grappled on her. Now the troll's gonna roll up and wail on you.
Can you tell friend from foe?
In this particular situation, these two are a pair, They're just in separate rooms. You just brought them together. You're supposed to go from that room and then come into this room. This is supposed to be another nasty surprise. But ouch. So 3 attacks at advantage. Well, that's 1. I don't know if it's going to even hit. Oh, sorry. Did I say troll?
Yes.
I meant wraith.
Oh shit, that's way even worse.
Okay, that
It's
probably
troll.
would've-
No, it's troll. I've gone way too
It's
far.
too far now.
It's gone way too
that's
far.
why.
Yeah, I had it here. That's right. I went way too far with the troll. It was supposed to be a wraith, but the troll is. 3 attacks with the troll.
Because if it was a wraith, I would have recognized it as an undead, and never would have dropped the polymorph to do that.
That was my mistake. So that's fine.
You can't polymorph undead, can you?
Yeah, I can.
Oh, you can?
Yeah.
I know you can polymorph undead.
It's shapeshifters.
Oh, I guess,
Shapeshifters automatically pass the will save.
yeah.
20,
sense.
dirty 20 to hit.
Yep.
And final is an 18 plus. 3 hits from this troll. As this troll just winds up with one claw, slashes down, slashes the other, and then goes in for the bite at this very, very opened creature. Here comes some damage. It's, we got...
Just be happy that the troll didn't know firebolt.
Do you have anything concentrating on right now?
No.
Okay, I'm just going to roll all the damage at once now.
Although, depending on what you roll to hit, I do have shield.
Oh, they were all, one was a dirty 20, the rest were above 20. What was your,
So, if I put up shield, my AC becomes 23.
Okay, only one would go through then. That would have been the last one. The last one was the big one. Okay, and there we go.
Well, that's useful.
Okay, good. I made up for it. That's good. 14 points. That's good. Okay, from there, attacks from her, attacks from him. You're grappled. It's your turn. Okay. Go. Well, this is cool. So, the door. Did you touch the door?
It was still opening, so
It was opening. That's right. Okay.
and
so
that's
now,
pretty much the only reason why I didn't.
So their attack finishes. The door opens. It's your turn. Ooh, stand up.
Would I know that she's like know the difference between a vampire, a mummy?
Oh,
a
it's
mummy lord?
clearly a vampire.
Clearly
Definitely
a vampire.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, I was right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. I just guessed because I was like, they're in a crypt, it sounds like, so I'm assuming vampire. And when you said that there was glowing red eyes, I was not assuming a troll, to be honest.
Oh, that's vampire.
Oh, well, so much for that.
No. Option trees failing.
I mean,
Yeah.
polymorph to vampire.
No, it was like, I have Geas. It's like, oh, make the troll fight for me. Casting time 1 minute.
Oh, yeah.
It's like,
That's a
no,
good one.
that's not going to work by myself.
1 minute. Hey.
Yeah.
Shreds.
Yeah, vampire and troll can do a lot of damage in 1 minute.
But the door is open.
Kind of taunting at this point.
Yeah.
This is bright white light emanating from behind you in the door.
I will attempt to break free of her grapple so I can actually move.
Alright. DC 13. This would be the time to fail it.
I rolled this 14.
14 is a succeed. You pull away, pull out of the club, pull out of the. Yeah, there you go. She reels back. Backwards? Okay.
Well, sorry.
Yeah, that's, you know, you. Yeah. 2 attacks of opportunity. First one's a miss, and the second one from the troll is a big ol' hit. Maybe. You got shield. Let me get the troll back up. It's gonna be 25 to hit.
Yeah, it still would have hit.
Okay, alright. So we're going through with that, and that's going to be a little bit of this. Not that bad. 9 more points. Of
I'll bring it back.
Yep. Of slashing as he gets down in front of you. Atlas.
Barely alive, but I'm here.
Awake. Your throat is ripped apart. You've got holes all over you. 6 of them to be, in fact, up your chest. You can hear the stalking beast walking off in the distance. Boof, boof, boof. Hear the bushes snapping, cracking.
Can I see him anymore in the direction you want? How far am I from the door or from the light?
You're right at the foot of the door, and
I'm
it is
just-
open.
I'm gonna just start.
You
pushing
probably just
myself.
roll.
I'm just gonna start pushing myself slowly towards the door.
So you push yourself over to this bright white light, and you just kind of roll through it, and you fall through the white light, and you're greeted with warm, hot, beating sunlight as you roll out on this hard, packed sand. It's hot. You can feel the heat on your open wounds. It burns, and you can hear.
Oh, it's burning me quite bad because of the fact that I'm a drow.
And then you can hear people hollering and screaming from all around you.
I'm just gonna look up.
Ah! Oh, there he is! Look! Oh! Oh! He made it! Oh! Stand up, you know, like stumble over, holding your neck, look around.
I'm just gonna cover my crotch real quick.
Thousands of people. All different colors. You see ethereal people, you see people who are almost there, empty seats that may have invisible people there. Everywhere. You're in a...
Are you not entertained?
I'm just gonna cover my crotch and.
You're in a large,
Sup?
large round Colliseum. And from across from you, you can see this white, bright light blink open. And you can see the back of somebody with their arms held out, kind of looking cockeyed at a cauldron as he's walking backwards, and the light blinks out. The troll and the vampire disappear, and now you can hear it now too. Oh, there he is too! He made it too! Oh, there's going to be a fight! And then it gets worse, it gets even bigger. Everybody's standing up, looking down. Oh, they're going to kill each other! People got their hands on their head.
I came very ill prepared for this. Can I get some pants?
And as you turn around, trying to take the whole scope and everything, you see him, this other drow, dark-skinned drow, neck ripped open, stumbling there, holes in his chest, naked.
But weirdly not bleeding.
You're weirdly not bleeding. And then you hear,
I think the cauldron wasn't too bad.
and then you hear, show us!
I can't show much else. There's not much else I can show.
Roll, performance.
That's a charisma thing, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Beautiful. That's not 20.
Okay, nat 20. The crowd goes wild. They're laughing. And you can almost hear this silent of that big, hard voice kind of catch, and there's silence after the whole crowd begins to roar. And they settle down for a moment. And then you see And you see from around you the kind of sand, hard-packed sand pit that you're in kind of begins to spin, only slightly. And just kind of turn. You guys are on it. You guys are like 40 feet away from each other.
Well.
Fight!
How's it going, guy? Is there any obvious like big spot in the Colosseum where someone might be sitting in like a throne or something like a king's throne for the Colosseum?
I would say there are several. There seems to be a bunch.
Okay, so we're being watched by. Okay, fantastic. I have no idea where I am.
Want to go home?
Yeah, kinda. I don't know how though.
Walk up, tap you on the head with a quarterstaff. Banishment.
It fails. Doesn't work.
Still hit him on the head.
Roll your attack.
To be fair, he can literally flick me too hard and I'll fucking die.
That's right.
I have one hit point.
So-
You could blow on me too hard and I'll die again.
Yeah,
But I won't die.
Yeah, no, seriously. Play the ending out. You guys play it out.
Well, I'll try tapping
I'm just
the
gonna
banishment.
I don't want to get touched by your stick. Don't touch me with your stick.
You can see he's. He's not swinging at you. He's
Yeah, I
definitely
know.
trying to cast magic.
I'm just
At
like-
this point, you guys gotta roll initiative. Yeah, because there will be decisions to be made.
That's a 13 plus my 4, so 17.
17.
That beats my 14.
Okay, so you guys briefly speak. He begins to walk in with the staff, and it's your action first. It's your turn first.
It's very bright.
Oh, is this the sun in the sky is huge, red golden, and it's just beaming everywhere. And as he begins to approach you with the staff, you can hear this rumble of the crowd. You can almost hear like a guttural noise kind of start to swell before they burst into some sort of outrageous
I'm
amplification.
gonna snap out of darkness, and as soon as the darkness envelops, shadow walk right behind.
Do you have to go from darkness to darkness?
Yeah.
Or you're him in the darkness as well?
Yeah,
Oh, the crowd's not gonna like that.
that's the point.
Okay. Darkness goes up, envelops the both of you, and you can immediately hear this from everybody, and you bonus action behind him.
Yeah, just right behind.
Yeah.
That's what I'm gonna say. I'm not gonna make a noise. Just
Okay, roll stealth for
Okay.
his perception.
jeez, I don't even know what perception is.
We'll see. Maybe.
That's a 16 plus it's wisdom, so 18.
Okay, so darkness looms up around you as you begin to approach him. How much is the dark? How big of space is the darkness?
20-foot cube.
20-foot cube.
Yeah. I could strengthen it using sorcerer points and make it 60, but I really don't need to. I was gonna say I'd use him, but he's not quite. No, I'll use him for now. He's perfect.
So, in my defense, can I make an Arcana check to realize that he's going to cast darkness?
Yeah. Or for the spell, yeah, roll a
Tell,
cantrip.
tell what. Yeah, 19. So I would probably recognize darkness, especially since I can cast it. I'm going to counterspell your darkness.
Okay. It's that's lower than level 3, I believe, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's your.
Well, technically, yeah, it's a level 2.
Okay. So here we go. And you're here. You moved. Oh no, that's right. You didn't. So we'll go back.
Mm-hmm.
He's beginning to approach you. You cast darkness. It fails. What do you do?
Well,
You have your bonus action.
I do have my bonus action. Oh, spell list. What can you do?
So you begin to cast your spell. The crowd can see you. It's welling up, and then as Einheart sees it, you can see him stop what he's doing and cast out his own counter, and you can feel.
Was Black Tentacles able to be cast as a bonus action?
I will check that in a second.
And that's noticed you were in the player's handbook. I figured I'd ask. Like 2 moves here that I could possibly make, and both are, I think.
Black Tentacles is 1 standard action.
Okay, and what about mirror image?
Image, 1 standard action.
Okay, then I guess what I'll end up doing is just taking a step back and putting my hound in front of me.
Okay. Is that a bonus action?
I hope so. There's an ability, so.
Oh, it's an ability?
Yeah.
Oh. Okay.
I'm unsure if it makes it a bonus action or not.
If it's an ability, it should be above and beyond, but it might be as an action, though.
As a bonus action, you can spend 3 sorcery points.
Yep.
So you remind you have 40, 30-foot move speed also.
Okay. Then I will.
Here's the.
Oh, fantastic.
Make it count.
Well, I don't want to move towards you because as soon as I get within that 5-foot range, you're just going to poke me with your stick. So I'll move back behind, like this way, and put my hound right there. Actually, I'll put myself.
A large creature was the hound?
Medium.
Medium.
Right there in front of him?
Right there, yeah. To replace where I just was.
Okay, sounds good.
And I guess that's all I can actually do for my turn.
Okay. As you cast you invoke your Shadow Beast, Shadow Hound. And move away.
Hound of Omen, of Ill Omen.
Hound of Ill Omen.
Yep.
When you back away, the crowd kind of uses like this big gasp, and they're all pointing at this shadowy beast. Does it get an action right away?
That's something I probably should definitely just looked at.
I would imagine so, because most standard summons do get an action generally at the end of the player's turn, but seeing as he's at 1,
It's just, yeah.
I'll be generous and say he does.
I'm at 1 hit point. What my wolf, who literally shadows, has more hit points than I do.
Yeah.
Well, you used to have like 40 something, right?
54.
54. Oh, you're still rocking. Okay. Yeah.
Plus, I have cures.
Oh.
Yeah. Guess who didn't take?
Just because.
Guess who didn't take any heals at all? Didn't even think to take heals. Cause I was like, oh yeah, I'll be fine.
That's all right.
So I can poly myself into something of challenge rating 15 or lower.
Oh, at the start of a turn, it already knows where the target's location is, so the target can't even hide. If it tried to.
So can it attack?
I guess at the start of its turn, but I'm not sure when the...
Roll attack if
Go
that's
for
what you want to do. And
Fantastic.
then
Whatever you want to do with them.
I'll go for a bite, I guess, because it's just a dire wolf type of deal. That... I've never seen such a cock dice.
horribly cocked.
17 plus whatever dire wolf's strength would be.
Make it for 2.
Make it for 2, so that'd be 19.
Okay. Damage? This is probably a bite. Just roll the d6.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah, I'll say I'll let it go through.
Yeah, not gonna activate your shield. 4!
Alright, you have affected damage on the opposing as the creature
I should have died
bites
once.
into
I
his
should have
leg.
let myself die.
The crowd roars like, oh, it's starting on his bite.
Do I want to put on a show or do I just want to fireball him?
That would be a show. Einheart, it is your turn.
Just boom. It's like, try to be nice. Try to be a nice, good guy.
After the shit I just went through, I don't trust anyone put in front of me.
You think I had much better?
What's with the cauldron?
What's with being naked?
It was hot and I found out it was solid. Did you know that was solid?
Yes, I did. Fireball.
Oh, there you go. Boom. You can roll a dex save, but you are in bad shape.
You know what the worst part is? Every time I die, I don't even get like the death save. I just instantly get my con save of how much damage I took plus the.
Okay.
If I make the save, I just come back to life. But I'm definitely not coming back from this.
What's that now? Heavy. It's a lot of dots.
That's a lot of
A
dots.
lot of pips. A lot of pips over there,
yeah.
man.
6, 12, 24, 26. So
20s.
I don't even think there's enough.
if you pass, it's a 13 plus your 5, which is an 18. So if you pass your reflex save, it is possible for you to.
And what's the reflex save on Dex? Or-
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Good. I have +4 on that.
Okay.
Nope, 9.
Okay.
I'm just gonna. Yup.
So, boom.
Then you take your full 26 and
Now the front half of you looks similar
To the back
to the
half.
back half. Black, charred, your body held in a burnt stasis. You fall back, and the arms kind of.
and he's right at the edge, so he falls off the edge.
That's right. Excellent.
Assuming,
fall off
assuming
into this
that
pit of this 10-foot pit of spikes. As you hit them, your body just kind of breaks open, and your insides just broke open like something that's just not cooked on the inside and burnt on the outside. It's
Oh.
disgusting.
Unfortunate.
Like an overcharred pizza pocket just thrown in somebody's head.
Oh.
Then the crowd roars, and you can hear in the background, Einheart, Einheart, Einheart. And then you can hear the voice again erupt, and everybody quiets when the voice comes down, and it says,
Congratulations! You have proved that you have the might to survive. Welcome.
a white door opens in front of you. Gleaming light, bright white. The crowd roars.
Well, it's this cauldron. What the hell?
You walk in?
Yeah.
Okay, you walk in. You can feel this heat embrace you, and as you walk through, it becomes cool immediately. You take a breath, you're in a simple stone chamber again. At the end, it goes off into a T intersection. Roll perception.
That's a net 20, so
It's a nat
26.
20. You definitely know there is no cauldron attached to your...
Yay!
At the end of the T intersection to your left-hand side, you can see it go off into a glade. And on the other side, it goes into another stone corridor about 40 feet long, and at the end there seems to be a booth with a red tabard hanging over it with gold tassels on the bottom, and a guy, old, gray hair, long, just kind of sitting there, leaning on his arm,
I'll go up and
kind of looking. Just kind of seems thinking, lost in his own. It takes, about, you get 10 feet to him before he realizes someone's walking up, and he kind of shakes and goes, oh, and he stands up, he says, oh, welcome. It's,
been a while.
oh, he flips open this book and, Einheart, you've survived.
Yes.
Ah, that's good. I've been standing here for quite some time. No, hi. What am I doing? I have something. There's things for people who come out alive. Yes, things. He opens up his book and he says, put your hand on this chest. And he pulls out this chest and he puts the chest up there.
I'll put my hand on it.
Roll d20. Oh, sorry. Roll,
Hand, the non-dominant hand, the same one that had the cauldron. Just in case.
just in case. Roll a d100.
57.
57.
I'm going to be slightly irritated if my reward is the thing solvent.
Wouldn't that be something? Okay. And,
I'd like to buy it right now.
roll an D100, please.
98.
98. Very fitting. Very fitting. I love when things like this work out. Okay. And he says, "Congratulations. It's time for my break." He turns around and walks away and leaves you with the chest.
Oh, I guess I open the chest.
You open the chest. Inside the chest, there is a necklace and a scroll. The scroll, let's go with the necklace first. The necklace is, I can't exactly know what it looks like in there, but I'm going to make it up myself. It says gold chain, and on the bottom part of the chain, the lower half, there are 5 large rubies. Each one, or 5 of them. Maybe it's 7. We'll find out afterwards. And each one of them kind of...
necklace of fireball, 7.
Yeah, 7? Okay, it's a
I'm
7.
pretty sure it's 7, but...
Yeah. Fitting for you to get that, considering the finish, right? Yeah, exactly. So 7 of them. And,
I don't even know how much health you have. Dude.
yeah, a necklace of fireball with 7 full rubies set inside them.
Yay.
And a second level spell scroll, and it's a wild card. Spell scrolls, you guys pick whatever you want.
Okay.
And as long as it's within your...
Spell list.
Yeah, exactly. Something that, yeah.
Okay.
And that's your prizes for the Legends Gauntlet. Congratulations, sir. Congratulations. You're the first official winner.
Yay.
The first one in the books, Einheart Bryant. Right there. So, perfect. Yeah, snap me a picture of his character sheet.
Okay.
So I have it so I can put it with the official winner. Excellent. Great, guys. Fantastic. It's been far too long since I've played. Good sesh, too.
I wish I would known there was a reset. I would have taken that.
No,
reset.
that's Hello, and thank you for watching the Death Needs Dialogue Entertainment Network. This has been The Legends Gauntlet, Episode 2, Lava is a Solid. If you've enjoyed what you've heard, check us out on our Patreon page at www.patreon.com/deathneedsdialogue. There, you can check out the different membership options we have to offer. For example, recent changes to the Wizard's Workshop tier now allows you to pick a trap, a battle scenario, as well as a final showdown, the arena in which the final combatants meet at the end and fight it out. Now these can be as gruesome as you want them to be. It is completely your choice and as much fun as you want to have with it. So a big thank you for Greg and Riley coming out and playing, as well as you for watching. Thank you. Have a nice day.